15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Hurts back, throws left, pass intercepted along the right sideline. Racing up the sideline for the Giants is Cordell Flott. He's to the 40, 30, and knocked out of bounds at the Philadelphia 22. Hurts picked off for the first time this year. Cordell Flott's his name.
Cordell Flott's his name. That was Giants radio. Everyone excited because of the big upset last night. But around here, this was a sad, sad day. Philadelphia native Andrew Perloff, the man who went to the same high school as Kobe Bryant, Philadelphia through and through. Yesterday was a particular kind of pain for you. Good morning. Your Phillies get eliminated by the Dodgers on what was a horrible error in the bottom of the 11th inning. I mean, how do you cope today, sir? Good morning. How are you doing?
No, it's not a good morning. I hate sports. I mean, there's just really no other lie to it. It was terrible. It reminded me of a day in my youth when the same day the 76ers traded away Moses Malone and the number one pick and went into a 10-year tailspin. It was that bad.
That's old trauma.
This might be, I know, it was childhood trauma. Childhood sports trauma, to be clear. Yep. I think that this is one of the worst sports days of my life. The way the Phillies lost, I said this earlier in the week, I'd rather lose 10-1 than to lose like that. And I knew it was going to happen the whole time. We all knew it was going to happen. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber were my two favorite players, and they couldn't hit anything. They were going to go down. Then you turn over to the Eagles game, and that happened.
It was tale of two different losses here because that Phillies-Dodgers game, this was the Phillies fighting for their life in L.A. yesterday, and it was a pitcher's duel at first, and no one could scratch a run across. Then all of a sudden you find yourself, the Phillies start kind of unraveling, a bases-loaded walk, that walks in a run, and you're like, oh, no. Phillies are scrambling because this is it, right? That they're on the brink. You get it all the way to the bottom of the 11th inning.
So many chances.
So many chances, but also you've got the force. Like you have 2 outs and the bases were loaded, but you get a comebacker that comes back to the pitcher, and he kind of booted it a little bit, but he gathers himself as JT Realmuto, the catcher for the Phillies, is pointing first base, and he was kind of on that side of the bat, like on that side of the mound. And instead, he throws home wild, and the Dodgers go on to the NLCS.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, but
the Eagles just got dominated last night. That was totally different.
I'd be honest about that throw. So it's being compared to Bill Buckner I don't think it's in that realm. There's never been a series.
Buckner was the World Series. I mean, that stakes a little bit higher.
Absolutely, and that was game 6 of the World Series. Yep. The thing is, there's never been a playoff series to end on an error in the history of baseball.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it wasn't just an error. He went Nuke LaLoosh on the throw. He would have hit the mascot if the mascot was back there. Or he looked like 50 Cent or Carl Lewis throwing the first pitch out. He wasn't even close.
It was an abomination.
He threw it about 8 feet wide. That's one of the funniest things about baseball. When a pitcher has to make a fielding play and can't throw that ball to first base, he would have missed the first baseman too. That's one thing. Everyone's like, he should have gone to first. He was in pure panic mode. I relate because as an athlete, I went into panic mode often.
Is that you?
But you could see it was a complete mental breakdown. I feel bad for the guy. I'm not mad at him. Did you feel some sympathy for him, Kirker?
No, absolutely not. And I'm not even a Phillies fan, but of course I don't. This is the weird thing. And I get, you get a little panicked in the moment, but he actually did have time if he was going to go to first base. This is what you train to do. They didn't pick some dude out of the stands to come and pitch in the bottom of the 11th inning. He's a professional. He's been great all season long. And it's always just so ironic to me when it's the pitcher who makes errors like this. Yeah. And it happens a lot. It's not just him.
The pitchers can't field, except for Greg Maddux. He was awesome.
Yeah. It's weird when guys can hit a dot at 100 miles an hour. They have all these pitches, slider, slurve, curve, sinker. They can do magic tricks basically with a baseball, and yet a simple throw home. And I know it's not a simple situation because it's the game. Everyone's moving. It's a panicky situation. But isn't that what they say about the best athletes? as the drama goes, intensifies, they get more calm. And that's kind of like what separates elite athletes from the rest of us.
Yes, but coming to the game, I wasn't thinking Orion Kirkering is an elite athlete. Come on.
Orion, yeah, what do I call him? Orion Orion, my bad.
Oh, I have no idea. No, I made it up. I have no idea. Listen, thank God. I just feel good for my dad.
Why?
Because my dad couldn't figure out how to get the Eagles game on Amazon and the Phillies game simultaneously. So he switched over the Eagles game and missed the end of the Phillies game.
Thank goodness. Yeah. He doesn't need that kind of aggravation.
I had my laptop on. Honestly, the Eagles was worse. I'm just going to say it. I'll be totally honest.
What part about the Eagles was worse? They lose 34-17 to the Giants.
The Phillies lost to the Dodgers, an all-time team with 3 MVPs in their lineup who didn't do anything all series, which was frustrating. But they were elite pitchers who finally got their act together and shut out the Phillies. The Eagles lost to Jaxson Dart and the New York Giants. Here is the Giants receiving core with a rookie quarterback. There was no Darius Slayton. Obviously, Malik Neighbors is out for the season.
Yeah.
So they went against Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, and who's the other?
Little Jordan Humphrey.
Little Jordan Humphrey was Big Jordan Humphrey today.
He was like Michael Jordan out there.
What was going on with that guy?
He was amazing,
He's
actually.
been around the league forever.
Yeah, Little Jordan. What a name.
There are so many problems with the Eagles, and I've been telling everybody that this is a team with massive, massive flaws, and nobody would listen until last night. And now the world sees it, and this is just the beginning of an awful slide. There's no doubt in my mind.
Really?
I told Bogusch right now, this season's over. The Eagles are going to become the San Francisco Giants of the early 2010s every other year. They just played too late into February. There's too many injuries. Landon Dickerson is out. Jalen Carter is now, he's in and out of the lineup. Their best offensive lineman, Lane Johnson, has been limited in snaps. Jordan Mailata, who's an all-world left tackle, doesn't look the same, especially on run blocking. Their DBs are an absolute joke, a total joke. I've been saying that all along.
And you lost Quinyon Mitchell last night.
They lost Quinyon Mitchell, and you have Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. Exactly what happened in 2023. Their defensive backfield went first, missed tackles, and that's what happened last night. Then, to make it even worse, there's this new, really good quarterback and amazing running back in the same division. That's the worst part.
Okay, well, that was a real good laundry list of things that are wrong with the Eagles, but I actually think you left some stuff out.
Like what?
Well,
see, that's what everyone thinks. They think it's Jalen Hurts. It's not. It's the lack of pass rush. It's the lack of running game. It's the poor special teams. It's the same exact things that happened in 2023. I've seen this movie.
Yeah, well, no, you got all that. I just think there's more. I do.
Okay,
and,
yeah. Fair.
Sorry, not to pile on you today after both of your teams lost last night. But, I also think that last night, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see turnover situation where Jalen Hurts threw a really bad interception. And then
one interception. That's a turnover situation?
Well, no, first of the year, though, and you just don't expect it. Not that he's going to be perfect all year, but that was a tough spot, Pearl. Jalen Hurts throws this really bad pick. We played you the highlight at the beginning of the show. Cordell Flott brings it back into Eagles territory because that was the beginning of the fourth quarter. Basically, that was your first drive in the fourth quarter when this was still a 10-point deficit. That you can overcome. I know the Giants looked really good last night, but you Philadelphia Eagles can overcome a 10-point deficit. The problem is
they let up 34 points to the Giants, the New York Giants, Maggie.
Yeah, well, Cam Scatterbo, you forgot about that, not being able to stop the run.
But that is not on Jalen Hurts' interception. I know he threw one interception. This is not an interception situation. 34 points. The defense got blown out the door in the first half against a bad offense.
Well, I was going to put the interception along with the fumble. This is a team that does not turn the ball over, and then you had 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter when you're trying to mount a comeback.
They're already dead.
That's bad. When you don't have Jalen Carter, who's
that was
obviously,
everything.
We saw this the first game of the season, Thursday night. The season's kicking off, and he spits in Dak Prescott's chest or whatever, and he got kicked out of the game. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh my gosh, this is totally different because he's such a force against the run, and Cam Scatterbo was able to be the human battering ram that he is.
Also, Jaxson Dart had no fear of the Eagles defenders at all.
Yep.
Do you think he's doing that if Jalen Carter is on the field?
No, he's smushed if Jalen Carter's on the field.
Yeah, I think also, too, I noticed a mentality thing. Kind of like he was the Aaron Donald to the Rams because the entire Eagles defense got non-aggressive because they didn't have their protector out there. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
The second you saw, there was ESPN showed him limping around before the game. I'm like, we're in big, big trouble.
The chat is not on your side. Easy saying Philly entering that downward spiral.
Oh, you know what? Boston had their 20 years. The Eagles had, the Philly had 2 years, and now it's over. There's no other sport. The Flyers lost last night. The Sixers are going to be terrible. There's a WNBA team coming in a couple years. Hopefully they're really good.
Cross your fingers.
I have nowhere to turn. Tell me where to turn.
Isn't Penn State your team? And that didn't go well either.
Thank God for college football. No, there's nothing positive to take out of last night. I wish I had a different career. I wish I had started many years ago. When I first took that job at FoxSports.com, it was a mistake because I don't want to watch sports right now. I just want.
Too bad.
I mean, I hate sports.
Sorry, you got to smoke the whole pack now. I mean, you got to watch it. You got to watch everything. It's like that scene in Clockwork Orange where they put his eyes open with like sticks, and you got to watch this Eagles season
Maggie,
devolve.
you know me well enough. I'm an expert at rationalizing losses. There's just nothing to do here.
I know. I'm actually surprised. Usually you come in, you're like, well, the wind was east-southeast,
Well, they did pick up that flag, which was
on.
right before Jalen Hurts' interception. Because you know who the one person I want to stick up for? Jalen Hurts actually played pretty well last night, and everyone points to him. For some reason, everyone's obsessed with Hurts and A.J. Brown and not noticing that Saquon Barkley is terrible right now.
Well,
I mean, why? That's the biggest story. He was the best player in the NFL last year. He's averaging 3 yards a carry this year.
I thought it was a little odd, and this is now going back to the very beginning of the game. Saquon rips off like a 15-yard run and an 18-yard run. They went to A.J. Dillon the rest of the drive. I'm like, is he that winded? We're at the beginning of the game. I don't know. But can I tell you actually, okay, so Perloff's in a bad way. Philadelphia native, terrible game and terrible night for you. The Eagles get throttled by a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back and a great defensive line. And the Phillies lose to the Dodgers in maybe one of the most painful ways humanly possible. Season's over. Season ends on a game-ending, series-ending, season-ending error by the pitcher throwing home in a wild throw with the bases loaded. That is actually not the worst of your problems.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
Something bigger happened last night in Philadelphia. No, it's not like some cheesesteak shortage or something. Don't worry.
Wait.
You guys can still eat your cow.
What could possibly be worse for the city of Philadelphia? It's all they have is sports. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Last night, the arrogance to run the tush push 4 times in a row in a standalone game, in a marquee game where everybody is watching, just put the nail in the coffin for your best play. Your secret weapon is now going to be wiped off the face of the earth, and I'll tell you why. Because the league wants to ban this play already. You know you're on borrowed time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're just trying to get the votes and the owners to go along with it. And right now, they don't have the votes, but they're getting there.
Yeah, they were close this offseason for sure.
This is like Roger Goodell's hill that he will die on. He wants this play gone.
He hates it.
He hates it. We all do, except for you guys. It sucks.
Sean Payton said something nice about it the other day.
Well, he's lying.
No, he wants to use it, I think.
Oh, well, good luck. You run that play 4 times in a row, and you score off of it. You are daring the league to ban it.
Fine.
Run a real play. The funny thing is,
Go ahead.
Kirk Herbstreit, well, I mean, you just said your team, the season's over, so you might need that play. But Kirk Herbstreit goes, this is bully ball. I'm like, this is coward ball.
We called them the Broad Street Bullies. It's the first great Kirk Herbstreit line I've heard in a long time.
That's an insult to the Broad Street Bullies.
No, Kirk's great on college.
Oh, yeah, of course. But that insult to the Broad Street Bullies. I think that this is not the bully ball play. It's a coward play to run that 4 times in a row. And
Did you say cow her? Like Bill Cower?
yeah, Bill Cower.
I don't know what this word, cow, 4 times in a row.
4 times in a row. And that is going to be the end of the tush push. So congrats, RIP tush push market. It's like calling a time of death when you call the body. Call it 10-9, October 9th. What was it, around 9:45 last night?
This is I think the Eagles front office is playing chess, not checkers, with the tush push.
You better hope. I don't even know what that means.
So this year is problematic. Unless there's some miracle, it's going to go bad this year. There's just too many injuries.
Yeah.
When their O-line is struggling, like the Eagles are not a legit contender. There's just no doubt about it. And when the D-line, their best pass rushers are in other cities. They lost Sweaty J, Josh Sweat. They lost Milton Williams. Brandon Graham retired. So this year might be done. They need a bolt of electricity, something to rally around, like Rocky running up the steps. They need the NFL to say, we're afraid of you, Eagles. We're going to ban the tush push. Because you know what play is just as effective as the tush push?
A quarterback sneak.
Yeah, so they'll just go to QB sneak kick.
Fine.
It's not going to make any difference. Jalen Hurts is a monster. He'll still get the QB sneaks.
I know, but it's just so funny because do you actually think they would run 4 QB sneaks in a row if the tush push was banned? Would they have called 4 QB sneaks in a row?
Maybe not,
I don't think so.
They would have gotten one of them. We're at the 1 yard line. Like the NFL success rate's like 90% at that.
Fine.
point.
If you don't care,
I don't care. I want them to ban it.
Well, you're going to get your wish because they are going to ban it after the Eagles ran it 4 times in a row.
How many times did the Bills offensive lineman push your running back James Cook in the end zone last year? That play's going away too. So it's going to cost a lot of people a lot of problems.
Yeah, but at least like James Cook, and I'm not saying like you have to do things the way because that's the way it's always been done. I'm not so stuck in the mud on that kind of thing. But like at least James Cook, that was like just a straight handoff, you know?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, are you going to change the rules so you can't push anyone in the back at any point?
You're probably going to have to. You're probably going to have to.
Yeah, that is going to be funny. So the Eagles are messing things up for the entire NFL.
This is why we hate Philadelphia. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I have another hot take off this game, but I'm going to have to save it.
But you know my theory, if you don't want the Eagles to run the tush push, then just let them score from the 12, for God's sakes. Just once.
Well,
can we get a long touchdown? Can Jalen Hurts hit a wide open Devontae Smith? We wouldn't have needed a tush push on that missed throw. But Jalen Hurts was okay.
The Giants took it to you guys last night. I was stunned.
Everybody's going to take it to them. This is exactly like 2023. The Giants killed them in 2023, and the Giants couldn't beat anybody at that point. I'm laughing because the Giants think they beat the defending champions. They technically did, but this Giants win is not indicative of what they think it is. The Giants could go back to last week's Giants, and if Jaxson Dart's going to run around like that and never slide, like a real defense is going to get on him.
That's the problem about this from the Giants side of things. This is exciting, and he and Scadaboo are definitely exciting.
Do you know who they play next week?
Who's the next
They're at Denver.
Ooh,
or I don't know if it's their next game is at Denver. And Nick Bonito is not going to allow Jaxson Dart to run at will and stay in the pocket, just fearless. Fearless is not something that goes well with quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think you got to learn this. I think sometimes guys have to learn it a little the hard way, but Jaxson Dart's already been in the medical tent basically every time he's been in the game.
He's got a picture of his family in there.
He's got a desk, cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like,
he has a whole
I'm taking
system.
my faxes in there.
He has a whole system. But
lazy
by the way,
boy
we will get into the Maggie Perloff show text thread was all over that situation last night.
Yeah, the text thread came back to life because it had been a little down.
All we needed was Cam Scadaboo to officially clear him of a concussion in one of the most chaotic concussion scenes ever.
Why does Cam Scadaboo seem to lead with his head when everyone in the world takes contact with their shoulder? And he just goes head first like this is 1982.
I like it. I hate to say it because he's on a rival team, but I like that guy. He's kind of like Mike Allstott.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. You are welcome to weigh in on this. Whether you want to drink Perloff's tears, always welcome.
Whatever.
If you'd like to weigh in on whether the Giants could actually turn this thing around with Jaxson Dart, you're welcome to do that as well. And the Dodgers move on, and we've got more on LA in just a moment.
I want to hear from our friends in Dallas, too, by the way. Talk your big game, Dallas fans.
On what, the Eagles downfall?
On the Eagles. We'll see what happens with your season. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to offend any fans. But I feel like everyone in the NFC East is dunking on the Eagles right now. We'll see.
You don't believe that. There's no confidence. You're leaking confidence.
I don't think the Eagles are great this year, but I do think a lot of people, I think, for example, the Giants are not quite as great as they looked last night. I don't think that Wendell Robinson and little Jordan Humphrey are Jerry Rice and Jonathan Taylor all of a sudden.
No, it's going to be up and down because it's a rookie quarterback, but they took it to you guys.
I'll tell you, they're going to win enough games to keep Brian Dable employed and be a mediocre team for the next 5 years.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. If Dart is really if Dart is good, then they're going to be better than mediocre. But how about Brian Daboll? Can you save the meetings for after the game? He basically gets these guys like Dart and Scadaboo, and he's doing like 5 minutes with them on the sideline. Like these guys got to go look at the film or whatever.
Just look at the Daniel Jones tape from 2 years ago. Reminds me a lot of that.
Okay, you're welcome to Anna. What we saw last night, by the way, we got some series tied up as well. Not only do we have tonight with the Tigers and the Mariners, but congrats because the Cubs won last night. So now that series is tied 2-2, and we've got thoughts on that as well. It's Maggie Perloff Show.
One good thing last night, Maggie.
What's that?
Because I knew I was in a vulnerable situation facing the Dodgers and NFL. I got all over PrizePicks, and I am on a hot streak. You know who went more than last night for me? Jose Victor Carroll Santana for Mirasol had over 45.5 passes. And that's pure PrizePicks. You know, there was a lot of sports last night, but I decided to go soccer because I thought this guy looked entertaining.
Yeah,
and
nice distraction.
You know what the thing is, PrizePicks, if you're right, you get paid. The app is so simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport. You go soccer, you go hockey, WNBA, pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big.
Okay, Perloff comes in this morning, despite the fact that his teams are losing like in epic fashion. He's like, do you know I'm on a heater on PrizePicks? I'm
really
like,
am.
wow, good for you.
I really am.
Unfortunately, I was not so lucky on PrizePicks last night, so I got to get back on the horse tonight. And you can play along with us because PrizePicks is available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And more importantly, they don't play about your money. All the transactions on the app, they're fast, they're safe, and secure. So let's get back on it tonight, guys, with PrizePicks. Just download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code MNP and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on PrizePicks. You get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. Yeah, I'm in a dark spot right now. I have to be honest, and you have to help me, Maggie. Like, I don't want to give up on the Eagles season. They're 4-2, which should be fine. I am legitimately worried, no joke, about the wear and tear of playing into the Super Bowl. It seems to be really affecting them. There's injuries all over the place, and they keep on popping up. This happens in seasons. We see it happen to the 49ers all the time. Yep. We're seeing it possibly happening to the 49ers now. I don't know a way out because I love Jalen Hurts. I'm a big fan. He's not good enough to carry the team if everything else is not working properly. So I think there's going to be a lot of people dunking on Hurts and the A.J. Brown situation, a lot of people dunking on head coach Nick Sirianni for calling all these tush pushes. But the real problem are what used to be the Eagles' strengths, which is the trenches.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Although the now audience is mad at you because you did say in the first segment, season's over.
Season's
at 4-2.
They might make the wild card game and get trounced, but that's what we're talking about.
All right, Mike in Dallas doesn't like this quitting attitude out of Perloff. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Maggie. It's welcome back.
We've been here, man. We've been here.
No, welcome back to the darkness of being a bad sports town. Is that what you mean?
Welcome back to irrelevance.
I called and they said both of y'all were on vacation.
Well, you know what, Perloff and I need our son. What do you got?
Well, now that Perloff is thinking that the Eagles are done, I mean, Dak's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it.
Pickens actually looks pretty good, too. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, CD who?
And then, have we seen the rest of the Cowboys' schedule?
It's pretty easy?
Yeah, it's a lot easier than the Eagles.
You got the Panthers this week. You're on the road as a 3.5-point favorite. Then the Commanders, although Commanders with Jaden Daniels are now look like they're back. At Denver is not going to be easy. So your next couple are not exactly cakewalks after this week.
Maggie, I hate to interrupt you, but you know we should be 4-0 right now if it wasn't for the referees.
The referees? For who? That Chicago Bears game when you got the doors blown off you? What'd the refs do then?
Well, that was an inside job. Our defensive coordinator Eberflus used to be a coach for them. He wants them to look good, get those guys paid,
Yeah, thank you, that Mike. The team that fired him on Thanksgiving.
No,
he was in the bag for them.
I mean, I kind of think like Mike. The officials did cost the Cowboys a couple times.
The weather delay in Philadelphia? The referees are now also God? The weather gods?
I'll be honest, though. The Cowboys are a dangerous team to be better than we thought in the sense that Dak always wins at a 65% clip. So, what Mike was saying, I think he was giving us a hard time. But, yeah, I think there is something there in Dallas. Pickens is better than I thought.
Pickens has been really good.
Yeah.
But he's got everything to play for, and he was excellent when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just didn't throw the ball nearly enough.
This is a critical game for the Cowboys because they faced the Panthers and their former running back, Rico Dowdle. Panthers showed they can run the ball last week. We still don't know if the Cowboys can stop the run. Same old story.
Darren is also in Dallas, wants to talk about the tush push, which the Eagles ran 4 times in a row on one touchdown drive last night. Good morning, Darren.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I got about a minute and a half. I just wanted to say, Perloff, listen, you say, I want to hear from the Dallas fans. Look, we know our defense stinks, but guess what? When CeeDee Lamb comes back, who's stopping us? You're not.
We're definitely not.
We'll just outscore somebody. And what's funny is Scatterboo called it early in the year with the Sky Mile office named Zach Van Meter. I said, he's a dog. Did you see how Blankenship didn't even want to hit him when he came over on the goal line?
Yeah.
He's a dog.
He's a human bowling ball.
Yep.
He is, but I felt bad for you last night, losing everything.
Yeah.
Phillies, the Sixers are going to stink, and the Eagles. But listen, the rugby, this is football. It's not rugby, and it's what it's turning into. So have a great weekend. Good job, Jason Wettenhall. All right, Maggie, see you later.
All right.
Bye.
Peace out, Darren. Thank you for that. It's funny because Kevin in the chat, youtube.com/Infinity Sports Network and twitch.tv/Infinity Sportsnet says Scatterboo is the new running back of the 21st century. And I love Kevin, sends us a picture of his breakfast every day. He's like the guy from the 19th century.
Exactly.
This
the
is
20th
old
century,
school.
yeah.
20th. 19th would be a little.
Yeah,
I went back a
he
little
looks
too
like a
far.
1979 running back.
Yeah, this is like leading with the head.
Yeah.
No, like thought about head injuries, neck injuries, spinal cord injuries. Dude just lowers the head and goes straight into his opponent.
I'm definitely off my game because when he was talking about, well, this is Philadelphia rugby. I'm like, does Philadelphia have a rugby team? Because I'll root for them. I have no other teams. He was talking about the Eagles, wasn't he?
No, they had a rugby team. They'd probably lose in
apparently
fashion.
Everyone thinks the Eagles are using a rugby play, which is true.
They are using a rugby play. By the way, Kevin now upgrading to not just sending us his breakfast. He's got into baking recently and is now sending us pictures of dinners. So I got some hamburger sliders the other day. Well, we did at MaggieandPerloff@gmail.com.
I want some of this actual food. See, I won't look at those because it's going to make me hungry. Does Kevin know what he's doing in the kitchen?
I mean, it all looks pretty good. Like, if he served it to me, I'd definitely eat it. How's that for a review?
There you go.
I want to know what his hard out was that he had I only got a minute and a half, guys.
He's robbing a bank.
He's probably got a Zoom at 6:30.
Yeah, or the muffins are ready and the oven's about to go off.
Yeah. Actually,
he's like defusing a bomb and the seconds are ticking off. He's like, I only got a minute 20 before I have to cut the blue wire and hope this thing doesn't blow.
Get a kid to school? Like, what's he have to do? It's
early.
Yeah, it's early.
He was in the middle of ordering breakfast when he picked up.
Is that right?
He was finishing an order.
So he's next on the drive-thru?
I heard him on the drive-thru. I heard the drive-thru person in the background and him putting in the order.
What's he getting? A couple of McMuffins or something?
I'm actually descending. I thought I'd be cheered up by coming onto the show this morning. Now, what if the Cowboys blow out the Panthers this weekend? That would end. The Commanders beat up the Bears next Monday night. It's one thing to be bad on your own team, to have your rivals have success. That really stinks. Who are the Bills' rivals?
Just got beat by the Patriots on Sunday night.
No, but who? It's the Chiefs?
The Chiefs. We'll talk about the Chiefs, by the way. Massive game this weekend against the Detroit Lions. If they lose this, they'd go to 2-4. We will get into all of that. Plenty of college football on the slate this weekend as well.
Yeah, the way karma works, the Bills will probably win the Super Bowl now. One of us goes up, the other goes down.
Is that how this works?
I don't know, but I can't handle it.
I feel like you and I have both been down
I won the
same
Super
time.
Bowl last year. But and by the way, it's amazing. In Philadelphia time, that might as well have been 30 years ago. Nobody cares.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest.
Cares.
He's a happy guy. Look at Bogusch smiling ear to ear with your Giants.
That did happen, didn't it? Headlines are sponsored by PrizePicks. Football's heating up, and so is the hard-hitting action on PrizePicks. Download PrizePicks and use code PRIMETIME and get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. It could not have happened to a nicer city.
The 0-1, swing at a broken back, comebacker. Kirkering knocks it down, picks it up, throws wildly home to the backstop. And the season is over.
Snap to Hurts. It's a pass again. He looks left. He throws that direction. It is intercepted. Coming down the sideline flat. 40, 45, 50. Tight roping. 35, 30s, pushed out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
I guess we'll go in order there. The Phillies battled and battled and battled in L.A. with their season on the line, pushing the Dodgers into the 11th inning of Game 4 of their NLDS. The home team had the bases loaded, but the visitors should have escaped. Orion Kerkering should have handled that comebacker and thrown Andy Pages out at first base, but he didn't field the ball cleanly, then threw poorly in a rush to home. The run scored. The Dodgers won 2-1, and the Phillies season is over. Kyle Schwarber on getting Kerkering through this.
I'm sure everyone's going to be talking to him because one play shouldn't define someone's career. And there's been a lot of, I've had tons of failure in my life and my career.
Now, tons of failure in the last week.
I was like, weren't you just like 0 for 21?
Yeah. Just as that game was ending, the Giants began to put some distance between themselves and the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. Any Philly comeback ended with 2 fourth-quarter turnovers, including that Jalen Hurts pick.
Got to be better. I take ownership for it. A lot of autonomy, a lot of opportunity there with the ball in my hands, and given those situations, I have to be wiser and more detailed with it.
Hurts' offense did not score in the second half, losing 34-17, their second defeat in 5 days. The Giants get their second victory this season behind 98 yards and 3 scores from rookie running back Cam Scatterbo. Rookie QB Jaxson Dart threw for a score and ran for another. Quickly back to playoff baseball. The Cubs smacked the Brewers last night 6-0 at Wrigley to send them back to Milwaukee for a decisive Game 5 tomorrow. Oklahoma QB John Mateer expected to try and play tomorrow against Texas. It would be 17 days since surgery for a broken bone in his right hand. And the San Jose Sharks are already in midseason form.
Riley Smith and Mitch Marner combine. Look out. The goalie way out of his crease. Giveaway. Theodore taps it to Smith. Easy slam dunk goal. Vegas wins in overtime. Nedeljkovic makes another huge gaffe.
That's Dan Duva on Golden Knights Radio. Vegas, a 4-3 win in OT in San Jose. Sharks goalie Alex Nedeljkovic wasn't even in the picture as Smith scored into an empty net because he went out to get the puck and missed it and could not recover. That came after he gave up a bad goal to let the game get tied with 94 seconds left, right after his teammates didn't score into an empty net, which would have iced the game. So the Sharks, who have been as bad as anybody recently, off and running here in this hockey season.
I feel like that happened last year, though, right? Didn't they get off to a good start, and we thought it threw our weight behind them a little bit, and then it kind of collapsed?
A game, and we got excited, and then they lost like 18.
We're not making that mistake again.
No.
I can't do it.
No.
Bogusch, thank you so much. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Is Perloff right to give up on his Eagles season already?
Yes. Was that a question?
It's for the audience, but sure. If you want to weigh in also, Bogusch, you're welcome to.
That was as usual, an electric Jalen Hurts quote. I mean, he just energizes a room.
I know. How could you not run through a wall for that guy?
Turn to that guy who has the same face when chips are up or chips are down. He just stares at you with that Jalen Hurts face.
I do want to say in your defense here, Pearl, I'm pretty sure Maggie signed off on the AFC East after the Bills lost to the Patriots on Sunday.
Yeah. The rival New England. The Bills, they were dying to lose again. They almost lost to the Saints, but they're going to be 13-4. They're fine. Eagles are in trouble. I'm telling you right now, these are bad things going on. You know, one thing I forgot to say that was similar to 2023? In 2023, Jalen Hurts was sliding a little early. Last night, it was like he had 9 yards in front of him. He's like, I'm going to go down. What are you doing?
The opposite of Jaxson Dart.
Yeah. Last year, he was running through contact. This year, he was like, instead of that 10-yard gain, why don't you just get 2 yards to protect myself? I'm not in a good place.
Well, this will cheer you up. Are we looking at a Dodgers dynasty? We will talk about that and dive into it. Also, Bogusch has told you, John Mateer from Oklahoma now upgraded to probable for the Red River rivalry.
There you go.
Is it a smart idea to even have him out there? We'll dive into that and also the ArchManning side of that rivalry in just moments. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Well, Perloff not riding and dying with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's
That's
already
not
jumped
true.
off the bandwagon.
No, that's not true.
He said the season was over. They lost last night to the Giants. They got it handed to them last night by the Giants. Let's keep it a buck. But you're only 4-2. It's just your team feels like they are just in a downward spiral.
It's a lot of health issues, a lot of wear and tear. After last offseason, half the team either left in free agency or got surgery. So there's a lot of issues here. There is a savior on the horizon, though, that the Twitter is pointing to. Obviously, the offensive coordinator is awful. Kevin Patullo is the new Brian Johnson. They're
that
nice
doesn't
guys.
mean a lot for the whole country, but he's just
saying,
a bad offensive
They hire
coordinator.
no names from within the industry, and because they feel bad, like this guy's worked hard, and then they fire him and bring in a real person. Who's the offensive coordinator who's going to be on the market in the next couple of weeks? He's short and he wears capri pants.
Oh, Mike McDaniel?
Oh, yeah. Bring him to Philly. That is a savior. The OC that we were promised. He's basically Kellen Moore. He's going to run that Sean McVay offense in about 3 weeks. It's going to be great.
There will not be a city that hates somebody more than if Mike McDaniel goes to Philly and fails.
No,
he is not the type of dude for Philadelphia. He's way too obscure. Like, there's nothing about Mike McDaniel that screams blue collar. That's what you guys are about. He comes in with those cocaine-looking glasses on and the capri pants. You guys are going to hate this dude.
No. I don't think so. I think the Eagles fans love whoever is the next guy. Whoever's the current guy, they can't stand.
I should have said, like, cocaine dealer glasses. I don't know what I meant by cocaine glasses. Meanwhile, Chris is in Birmingham, has a thought on last night's game. Chris, are you going to make Perloff feel better or worse?
No, I'm going to call him out, man. I mean, you telling me, you guys know I'm a Saints fan. You telling me the season's already over for you and it's only like, what, week 6? Come on now. This is what I despise about the modern day fandom. It's like, let's say your team's down by 28 in the football game at halftime. And all of a sudden it's an immediate ball game. Come on now.
Yeah, but Chris, not to listen, Perloff can speak for himself, but I mean, when the Eagles are driving, they're down 10, they're deep in Giants territory, and Jalen Hurts throws a terrible interception that gets returned all the way back inside the 20. What did you think was happening in the game?
It's just one game. Yes, and mostly it's a divisional game. So if there's any teams that's going to know you better than half the NFL, there's 3 other teams in your division. So you have one slip up. Doesn't define your whole season, people. What happened to having perspective? I tell that to the Bama fans locally all the time, who immediately want to go away and hold the season after week 1. What are we doing?
Chris, that is true. I was so down on Bama. So was Maggie, I think. Down on Bama.
You got smoked by FSU. I mean, Chris, I don't think anyone said, "Oh, Bama can't make the college football playoff after that." No, but that was a shocking result.
Chris is definitely right about that because I think early season college football is very, very deceiving because there's not much of a preseason. So you get some weird results. Like Notre Dame always loses a couple of early games. So he's right about that. But I do think the Eagles were 4-0. I'm saying there are major problems. You see, for example, I could go down the list. Keely Ringo is a cornerback for them. He should not be out on the field. And the worst part,
defensive pass interference to set the Giants up at the goal line.
That was every play he was out there. He wears number 7, Maggie. He's not good enough to wear a single digit, and he stands out. You're like, oh, that guy looks like a star. He's wearing number 7. Why is he getting torched left and right? They never should have let him get number 7 because this is why I think the season is over. No Super Bowl champion ever got burned by Lil Jordan Humphrey. The Giants had no receivers.
Is that a stat? Official stat?
Their top 2 receivers were out, and the Eagles couldn't figure out anything. They let up 34 points to a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back with no receiving core. There are so many problems. Point to Jalen Hurts in that interception. I disagree with you on that. The problem, that has nothing to do with why they lost last night. They let up 34 points to the New York Giants.
Well, can I give you someone else who's even more embattled than your Philadelphia teams? Jalen Hurts, whoever you want to say. ArchManning. And not to take a stark left turn here, but I think we have to talk about this. And I know we're on in the Dallas area, especially for this first hour of the show. And I'd love to get people's thoughts on what the expectation is for Arch as we head into Red River, because we got the news that Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, who just had surgery on his thumb, right, on his hand, 2 weeks ago, is now upgraded to probable. Now, is this just a bunch of gamesmanship maybe from Brent Venables in Oklahoma? I don't think so. I think upgraded to probable means he's playing.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, now it's going to be strength on strength as far as starting quarterbacks are concerned. And, I want to say that there's absolutely no evidence that ArchManning is going to turn things around for this game because the Oklahoma defense is really good. They're stout, and he's had trouble. However, Pearl, I think you and I actually were in lockstep for once about Arch really was lower on the list of people to blame for that loss to Florida.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't love it because he still only had 2 good throws and 2 good runs. But his offensive line was awful.
He held on to the ball too long, too. You pointed out.
Yeah, and he was just bad on that final drive. I know he got knocked out at one point. His helmet came off. He had to go out for one play. And ironically, his backup came in, had a 15-yard completion with a flag on the end of it and added another 15 yards and actually kind of moved him. But I do think that I'm not expecting miracles here from Arch. That's over, right? You can't do that anymore. It'd be unfair to the kid to say, well, now he's going to be the savior. Now he's going to turn it around. But I do think there were things to build on from that Florida game. The problem is if the offensive line is going to no-show and if the defensive line is going to get pushed around like they did against Florida, then this one is going to get ugly.
Yeah,
ArchManning.
Yeah, I actually can connect the Texas Longhorns to Eagles football. Jalen Hurts is going to get all the criticism when there's problems all over. And, of course, Mateer is playing. You know why? Because he has no fear of that Texas defense. Texas is supposed to have 3 first-round picks on that defense, at least. Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons. These are big-time defensive players. And Florida can't move the ball on anyone. They hadn't reached 20 in a month. And they killed Texas. I think Mateer is not afraid of Texas. I think he's going to look good against this team. And Arch, and then Oklahoma's D-line is going to kill Texas's D-line. Texas has so many problems. They're so much like the Eagles.
Okay, so I think this is a little bit of a gift that Oklahoma's kind of giving to Texas because
of the hand injury.
Because of the hand injury.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a defense that actually had been playing very well. I mean, remember that Ohio State score was 14-7. They're the number 1 team in the country. The defense I thought was doing and holding up their end of the bargain until the Florida game. Now, if they don't feel rejuvenated and they got punched in the mouth and pushed around, you would expect they'd come out hair on fire for this rivalry game. So if I have to believe there's at least the possibility that Texas's defense has a big bounce back performance, then I think that Oklahoma trotting out a compromised quarterback, even one like No Fear Mateer, I think that they are giving Texas a real advantage because if he's not right, fumbles the ball, turnovers, playing through pain the entire game, whatever it is, you can't shoot up your hand. You need your hand to have feeling in it. That's not a place where you throw a Toradol shot in there and let it go.
Even in these easy wins over the bad teams like the Sam Houstons, the Texas defense has not been scary. I mean, Colin Simmons, I think Stark said he's been pressing all season. I think that Texas is not going to get to him. I think Mateer is going to show up. He seems like one of those magical guys who can play through an injury.
But he takes a lot of risks. And
yeah, I know, but he seems to they pay off.
So far, but I don't paid off. Yeah, against Michigan, sure, I'll give you that. But if you are already compromised on your hand to go out there, I'm really surprised that they would do this because here's the other thing. I think that if Oklahoma lost this game, and let's say it's a close loss and you don't have your starting quarterback, I don't think the committee is throwing you out. I think that the committee would look at it and say, all right, they had a backup quarterback. Maybe they lost by a touchdown. Maybe you lose by less than that. I think the committee is going to look at that and say, all right, well, they're still in it. You still have the rest of the season to make up.
Right, but this is a big opportunity to get a reeling Texas team. It'd be a great win.
But is it even a quality win? Texas is not ranked right now. Texas has more to gain from this than Oklahoma does in a weird way.
It's definitely a quality win. And also Oklahoma ends the season with a crazy tough schedule. They don't have extra L's.
But I don't think, will the committee look at a non-ranked Texas team because they tumbled out of the top 25, and if Oklahoma beats them, say Oklahoma's a 6th ranked team in the country, would they say, okay, that's a quality win? That normally doesn't square, no?
I think Texas is going to climb back into the rankings. I think they could get some wins together. I'm not sure this is going to be the weekend to do it. No, but Oklahoma, you say that they can afford a loss, but you're going to be in a situation where there's a lot of 2-loss SEC teams. You can't afford to go to a third loss. And they end the season with number 4 Ole Miss, number 12 Tennessee, number 8 Alabama, number 14 Missouri, number 11 LSU. So every loss counts. I kind of disagree with that. Like, yeah, the committee would say, okay, your quarterback was injured, we'll give you a pass. But they need that W. You know that the final record does matter.
Okay, but I'm going to just outline the worst case scenario, and I hope this doesn't happen because we all love watching John Mateer because he's a crazy man. What happens if he hurts the hand worse?
Go into the draft.
Now Oklahoma's season is over.
No, I think John Mateer is a little like Jaxson Dart. Some guys just have this extra quality to just be a madman. I think he's going to be fine.
Are you guys mad that Perloff has already declared the Eagles season over after a brutal loss last night to the New York Giants? And we'll ask you this question. Are the Dodgers on the verge of a dynasty?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
No balls and a strike. Hess breaks his bat. Kirkring gotta find it. Throws to the plate. Oh my goodness! He throws it away, and the Dodgers have won. The Dodgers win, and they are moving on to the NLCS.
Thank you to TBS for that sound. Just stunning. Philadelphia fighting for its life last night on the baseball diamond. On the football field, they were just getting crushed. We'll get to that in a minute. But they were fighting for their life, Pearl, fighting for the season. Your Philadelphia Phillies, bases loaded, bottom of the 11th inning. And then that kind of error from a guy who's been great in your rotation, well, really in your bullpen all season long. Bases loaded. He decides to come home. Do you think he even saw JT Realmuto, the catcher for the Phillies, pointing to first base, like throw the ball to first? That's where the force out is going to happen. Or do you think he was just like in a fog and a haze?
I saw someone say that the way JT Realmuto's body was positioned, the pitcher saw the catcher square up on home plate and thought, oh, he's calling for a play here. He probably didn't see the pointing. He saw JT Realmuto
he was standing on home plate.
Getting up on the plate, and somehow in his reptilian pitcher brain said, oh, I got to go home now because the catcher is calling for the ball. But he obviously panicked. You know how long baseball has been around, by the way?
Yeah, 100 years, more.
Way more. Do you know how many times a postseason series has ended on an error? That was the first time.
I can't believe that's true.
Ever.
Wait, the chat is saying that's not
error.
true. That
Jason Stark said, this is a tweet.
Oh,
this
really?
is the first postseason series in history to end on a walk-off error. And Jason Stark knows these things.
Yeah, he does know these things. I'm hearing from the chat that maybe something happened in 2016 where there was a walk-off error between the Texas Rangers. I got to find it now. The 2016 ALDS, according to our own Andrew Kaplan, between Toronto and Texas also ended via a walk-off error. So maybe someone has to check Jason Stark.
Yeah, I've seen actually a lot of people tweeting this. Cap's got to dive into that. I wonder why they would make this mistake.
Jason Stark v. Cap, the showdown we've been waiting for our whole lives. It's like a shootout in the Wild Wild West.
I got Cap. But, I mean, Maggie, I think you saw that the way that series was going to end, it just felt like the Phillies did not have what it took to knock the Dodgers off. I don't know why I'm saying, like, what exactly logistically it was. It just didn't feel like they were on the verge of winning even last night's game.
Well, you lost the first two. So you dropped two at home. Yeah. Obviously, that's a big body blow. And all of a sudden, Philadelphia's bats went quiet, including your guy Schwartz, who ends up rebounding in Game 3 with 2 home runs. But obviously, you know, the Phillies couldn't get anything going offensively. And, you know, to be honest, Pearl, like we've been talking a lot about your loss to the Giants last night and stuff. To me, this is actually not the Phillies story. To me, this is the story of the Dodgers. I know Philadelphia had a great season. You guys are awesome, and you got a first-round bye and all that stuff. But to me, this is all about the LA Dodgers because we like to talk about how baseball postseason is a crapshoot and how all you can do is just get into the dance, and then whatever happens in the postseason, a ball bounces this way, that way, manager makes a bad call to go to the bullpen, all the weird ghosts that come out in the postseason, etc. To me, I think the Dodgers have a chance to just end all that. And I understand that the Brewers had a really good season, and they're tied now with the Cubs 2-2. We'll see what happens in Game 5, and then obviously whatever happens in the World Series. But the Dodgers have figured out, like, beyond just outspending their opponent. You know, like Shohei gave them this amazing gift of deferring all that money until God knows when. And they were able to just really stack up this incredible dream team. And I know they've done that in the past, but it seems like now there's a bit of, guys, I guess, are staying healthier. They're even playing through injuries and still winning. The pitching staff is fantastic. Tyler Glasnow was excellent last night. It just feels like something we haven't seen in a long time, which is a baseball dynasty.
Yeah. You saw that last night.
Well,
because that's not the
extra
Dodgers.
innings. It was kind of dicey.
That's not the Dodgers I saw in this series.
You think they look vulnerable?
I mean, they look like crap.
They're winning without Shohei really even doing anything offensively.
I know. They're winning without anybody doing something offensively, which goes to prove you. It is a story of the Phillies. The Phillies are like the Dodgers. They have superstars up and down their lineup who can go from red hot to ice cold in an instant. And the Dodgers apparently are the same way. Like, what was that Dodgers team? I can't believe... I've declared the Dodgers my second favorite MLB team, and you guys were killing me on that.
Yeah, that's not right.
This ain't my favorite team. Like, all of a sudden, without Shohei even making contact, the guy struck out 9 times in this series. They are a different Dodgers, proving even this payroll. It reminds me like the 2018, 2019 Dodgers, who were just dominant during the regular season, and then their team just got way off kilter in the postseason. They're off kilter right now. I don't think that they are playing to their identity, which is this, superstar team. That, again, listen, they won the World Series last year with Shohei holding his shoulder
in place,
and Freddie Freeman limping around and winning the MVP. So they do find ways to win, but there's nothing dominant about what I saw against the Phillies. Nothing at all.
Yeah, see, I think they came into Philadelphia and beat you.
They
dropped a game.
The Phillies should have won the second game too.
Okay,
it was 4-3, and the Phillies made a series of idiotic plays, including laying down a bunt for no reason.
Connor Armstrong in today for EJ, our pal Scarpacci in for Manny. So we got the all-star team on the other side of the glass. Connor, can you put up a poll question? Dodgers, closer to dynasty or closer to disaster? I don't know how you want to put it, like vulnerable or dynasty, because you and I are seeing two very different things here.
Well, there hasn't been a repeat champion since the 2000 Yankees. I don't know why. I think this is definitely a little bit of, oh boy, what is happening to our superstars issue in LA. I understand the pitching is good, but is Shohei going to pick it up in the next series? Can you answer that? Because he was not good in this series.
Well, I think maybe you have to expand your definition of superstar, because there are guys on this Dodgers team that we've seen come through in major, major ways, including last year. So like the Kike Hernandez and the Teoscar Hernandez and the Edmonds. And
two guys.
It's not just Betts and Shohei. They have stars. It's just not maybe like, I don't know, Kike Hernandez is a household name for baseball fans. Teoscar Hernandez, they've been around for a long time. These guys are fantastic. And yeah, maybe they're not as famous as Shohei, but you're telling me that, Andy Pages, like, he's been in the middle of all of this stuff. Muncy, these guys are battle tested.
Yeah, I mean,
Freddie Freeman, I didn't even mention.
They need to play a lot better to win the World Series here. They definitely do. The Phillies have good left-handed pitching, which is probably a problem for them. But I definitely was not wildly. I expected to be wildly impressed by the Dodgers, and I was okay if they beat the Phillies 10-1. But then I was watching them last night. I'm like, oh, they're just as bad. They're hitting just as badly as the Phillies. So it is just the fact that players this good, like Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, can go cold, shows you that anything can happen in baseball. It is completely unpredictable. As Billy Beane, the famous Moneyball GM, said, it is a crapshoot in the postseason. They might win this year, but they're going to be right back next year, and you just do not know.
Yeah.
They're playing way too close games.
But this is where I completely disagree with you. This is how good the Dodgers are, that they're not just top-heavy. I'm telling you, these other guys can get the job done also. So, like, even if Shohei or Freddie Freeman or whatever, Mookie Betts, even if they're not, like, unloading and just, being, other stratosphere, they've got other guys who come in and are able to get the job done. So for me,
they didn't get the job done last night.
How they won and sent you packing.
They scored 2 runs in 11 innings.
Well, it was a pitcher's duel, and then they're the ones who actually were the ones who came through.
Let's go back to the core 4 Yankees in the 90s. Do you remember those World Series? It was 4-0, 4-0, 4-1. Do you think there's any chance the Dodgers are going to be 4-0 this year? I know last year they
Yankees, when they beat the Braves, were down 0-2 before they had to come back. Wasn't that the big Jim Leyritz pinch hit home run, if I'm getting my Yankees history right there?
But even that was 4-2. When they got rolling as the last repeat champion in 2000, they were dominating. That is not happening in modern baseball because there's a lot of high payroll teams. And no, I don't think that – I love the Dodgers. I mean, I'm a big fan of Shohei. But dynasty in 2025 in baseball, I don't see that happening.
Okay, Connor, how about this for the poll question? At Maggie and Pearl on X. The LA Dodgers, looking dynastic.
I like that. I'll take that.
Okay, because that's, I think, where you and I do disagree. I think that they have depth. They've got the pitching. So you can allow Shohei can go have an offer. Freddie Freeman can, have a one-hit night. Mookie Betts can have a one-hit night.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Pitching could go south, hitting could get hot. You just do not know in baseball.
Our pal Sean is in Oregon. Sean, what do you think? The Dodgers looking more vulnerable or dynastic?
Hey, this is dynastic, baby. I'm loving this. I'm putting on my newest Dodger hat today, and they're not as dominant. I thought this was going to be like a real dominant kind of have the best record of Major League Baseball this year, and they struggled to stay just a couple games above the Padres, but they're getting it done. And even like you look at last year, what did Shohei do in the World Series last year and they won? Last year,
Nothing.
It was the Freddie Freeman
much.
show.
Yep.
So I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Ask the Reds how good the Dodgers are.
Well, the Reds
these guys,
were not great, though.
No, they weren't.
But the Dodgers smoked them, to be fair. Like they didn't let them hang around.
They were a 500 baseball
runs
team.
They put up.
Yeah.
The Dodgers can do something at any given moment. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's my point, Sean. You do not know what's going to happen.
I'm just enjoying this ride. Have a great day, you guys.
Sean, thanks for the call. Speaking of Oregon, I just got my press credential to watch the Oregon Ducks in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that.
Oh, is it going to be against what? Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State? What do we got here? What big matchup you got?
Rutgers. They're coming to play Rutgers. It's
so
20 minutes from my house.
You're going to an exhibition game.
Yeah, my press credential came through for that. I was on pins and needles, but it looks like they're going to let me in the press box.
That's fun. I didn't know Oregon played high school teams during the year.
Oh, come on. Let's go to George, who's in L.A. What's up, George?
Hey, what's up, guys? I would say that I'm very sorry for a lot about your losses, but Dodgers are in another gear, and that kid pitcher, Roku Sasaki, I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yep.
He is amazing little closer that they just found out of nowhere that was a starter and it was injured all year. And the Dodgers are on a different level than any team in baseball. I realize they're not playing their best, but when they do, look out because I think they can beat anybody. I think they'll take out Milwaukee, and I think they'll take out whoever they play in the World Series. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
George, listen, I'm with you. I think that they look like they could be the next dynasty. And yeah, Sasaki, I mean, this is the Dodgers, right? You have a guy who was in the rotation, but he was injured. Then he comes back like, how about we're going to make you a closer? It's like, all right. And that just, sure, that will work. And he's been great.
Until it doesn't work.
Hasn't not worked yet. Let's put it that way.
I just don't know. I was surprised that the Dodgers didn't knock the Phillies out a little easier last night. Phillies were cold from the get-go.
The Phillies have a really good team, though.
Not last night.
Well,
I mean,
no, not last night.
They have a lot of lineup problems. Like Brandon Marsh just lost his confidence. There's a lot going on with the Phillies. Like, how did the Dodgers only score 2 runs in 11 innings? That doesn't bother Dodgers fans out there?
Derek is in Baltimore, wants to switch gears to football. Good morning, Derek. What's on your mind?
Hey, how y'all doing? Perloff, relax with the Eagles. You're 4-2. I mean, you could be a Jets fan. You know what I'm saying?
EJ's not here to absorb that blow, but we'll make sure he hears it.
But, yeah, so, all this hate that Kevin Stefanski is getting for the Bailey Zappi thing, listen, he never wanted Shedeur. And I'm not understanding why he's getting so much hate, why he's getting all this negativity. I'm seeing it from fans. I'm seeing it from sports people that cover the NFL, listen, this franchise has been a joke for 26 years. It's not like all of a sudden they've just been a joke for the last 4 or 5. They've been a joke since '99.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is clear that the owner wanted Shedeur. It is clear as day the head coach never wanted him, because if that was the case, they would have took him instead of Dylan Gabriel. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. Look, maybe he just felt as though he's not a good fit. Shedeur is to blame as well, for the simple fact that he said no to Philly and he said no to Baltimore. And then you go to get drafted by a team where you're the 4th string, then you're the 3rd string, and you're pretty much drafted by a team that no one wanted you but the owner. But had he went to Baltimore, guess what? He would be playing right now. So he got to take account too. And another thing I didn't like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys seen the conference that Deion Sanders had where they asked him about Cleveland, and he goes to say, I don't care nothing about Cleveland, only care about Shedeur.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that's your son. But come on now. To say you don't care about Cleveland, you could have kept that to yourself. Be grateful and be happy that they drafted your son and gave him a shot. Even though maybe everyone didn't want him, we get it, but still, the Sanders family, they're to blame too. Not all the blame, but some of the blame. But
yeah, Derek, you make some good points here. Let Perloff and I unpack them a little bit. First, to just set this up, we still don't have an official depth chart here for the Browns game against the Steelers. I guess they want to keep it a little close to the vest, but Bailey Zappe's on the practice squad, and he may get elevated to be QB2 behind Dylan Gabriel, which means ShedeurSanders would still be QB3.
Shedeur.
I mean, I don't know if I could. Derek just laid it out perfectly. Oh my God, that was exactly right. I also was bothered by Deion saying he doesn't care about Cleveland. Like Derek said it perfectly. Like, keep that to yourself. But Deion has never been a keep it to yourself guy.
No, and this is where I feel like the media gets this blame for you guys only talk about Shedeur, or you guys are the ones who do this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, Shedeur and now Deion, they also understand how to make a headline, how not to make a headline. And Shedeur standing in front of his locker, answering reporters' questions the other day, mouthing the words but no sound is coming out, was so bizarre. That's going to bring attention on yourself when you didn't need to. And Deion has been in the game longer than anybody, both playing and in the media. He knows what's going on. Well, maybe he was trying not to make a headline, but that statement, that's going to get people's attention.
Well, no, Deion is.
I don't care about the Browns.
Yeah, he's never had a filter. He's not. I don't think he knows how to create a headline. I think whatever is on Deion's mind, he shares. I mean, the guy went in there. It's called the entire Colorado Buffalo roster awful.
Yeah, like, and then posted on his own YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's not exactly political, Maggie. I think he is unfiltered, and I think he's being honest about not caring about the Browns, but that's not really a great sentiment. I mean, the team did draft your kid. None of this is really good. Derek kind of nailed it. He's right, by the way. Stefanski didn't want Shedeur. I was squinting and seeing it there, especially after Shedeur played well in the first game. And the Browns keep saying Shedeur is acting like a pro. They keep saying this. His teammates are saying that too. I saw Jerry Jeudy say that the other day. Like, you guys talk a lot about Shedeur. He's been nothing but professional here. So I tend to buy that. But Stefanski clearly, based on the evidence, was not on team draft Shedeur.
I don't even know if the GM was. I mean, everyone's bending over backwards to say this wasn't the owner. I find that hard to believe because the circus starts from the top. I mean, that dude is like a Jerry Jones wannabe, Jimmy Haslam. But honestly, I think we actually, speaking of evidence, I think we have evidence that Shedeur is not handling himself well. I understand what you're saying, and the beat writers are saying it too. He's working hard. He's learning the playbook. He's running the scout team. That's your job. Okay? Like, I don't know, do you get bonus points because you are working hard? That's kind of the baseline, no? And kudos to you, but like, that's more seems like a pat on the head. That thing he did in front of his locker was not showing that he was being professional.
But that's not his. I mean, but we have no idea what's really happening. Like, we don't know what's happening. We know what happens in the press conferences and when the reporters are in the locker room for that period. But that's not what's really happening.
But don't you think there's a little like, wow, Shedeur, he's working really hard? Like, yeah, no kidding. Of course he should be working hard. Like, there's that. I don't think you get bonus points for that.
I'm not saying bonus points, but I think Shedeur is misunderstood. This is, again, I don't know him, but I think he's actually more of a quiet, laid-back guy than I think people are confusing him with his dad a lot. I understand there was this miming thing. I don't think that's really I don't think Shedeur is Deion. I think Shedeur probably is not a terrible teammate. I know he said some dumb things at Colorado, but I think that he seemed like in training camp, like he kind of handled the whole thing pretty well.
I don't know, when he goes and gives an interview to ESPN Cleveland and says, I look at the quarterback play in the NFL and I know I'm better than all those dudes, that kind of sounds like Deion to me. The problem is Deion was never on the bench. We actually just watched him.
But if you watch Shedeur, like, does he really give off a Deion vibe? Not at all to me. He's no. And so many Cleveland reporters and players have said, "Oh, Shedeur's that kind of a quiet guy," which is funny. Deion is not. Deion you could hear in any locker room anywhere.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. And Deion's been going through it, man.
By the way, Shedeur was really quiet when he was doing that miming thing.
Actions speak louder than words, I guess. But Deion's been going through it, had to have a procedure, said his leg has been killing him, thought the blood clots may have been back, and, had to coach a little bit of the game last week without a shoe on and had to sit for a little bit. We know he has to have the commode by the sideline because of obviously the cancer that he was dealing with. I mean, it is. I just would be shocked if he even finishes the season, and that's not an indictment. I mean, your health is your health, and it seems like he's just really taken a lot right now.
Yeah, no, this is not good. There's also on social media there's family drama about Deion's partner and.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't even know about that.
Is that
one.
for clicks though, or is that real? I can never tell.
We have to research this at the break because I might be following something about maybe the family not loving Deion's partner right now.
Interesting.
I mean, this is a guy who
ignorance. I don't know who it is.
He put out his family rankings. Remember, like Deion used to. The first thing we know about Deion and his family is he's rank his 5 kids.
Yeah.
And he changed it every week, like an NFL power ranking. So
like a tennis ladder match. There. Oh boy.
Yeah.
You rank your kids.
Good times.
Probably you rank your daughters. Today, Emma's in front. Then Lucy.
I only have 2, but yes.
888-710-4ISN. Obviously, you're kidding. I know that. Okay, you're welcome to weigh in on Shedeur Sanders. You're welcome to weigh in on Perloff saying the season is over for his Philadelphia Eagles. And we have a question for you on X. Do the LA Dodgers look more vulnerable or more dynastic? A lot of college football. Turn our attention to that in just moments. Don't move. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this NASCAR race preview is sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. Manny's out today, so Scarpaccia, you're on it. What do we got this weekend?
The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs returns this Sunday with the South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on USA Network at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. This is the first of 3 races in the round of 8, with only Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, and Joey Logano remaining eligible for the Cup Series title. But just a reminder, everyone who can field is eligible to race, so everyone still races and can win the race itself, but only those 8 can continue to earn playoff points over the next 3 weeks, with the top 4 competing at the NASCAR Championship November 2nd in a winner-take-all format, so whoever finishes first among those 4 will win the title that week.
Fun. I would love to be in Vegas for that. Okay.
Nailed it. Did I just catch you off guard with that? Were we not supposed to do it there? Is that my fault? Did I surprise you?
It was either now or at the end of the segment. I was fine either way, though.
Okay. It was always at the beginning of the segment. That was like, man, did I just throw Scarpacci right under a NASCAR truck?
I owe an apology, by the way.
What's that?
So apparently, Shedeur was joking when he said that things have gone downhill for his father since he started dating this woman who I don't know, Karuchi Tron?
I think it's Kariuchi, no?
It's Karrueche.
Okay.
Like karaoke?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Deion's got this young, very beautiful girlfriend, and he's having all these health problems. And Shedeur said, ever since she's come around, things have started to go downhill. So it adds to the drama of whatever's going on there. But then everyone starts laughing, including her. So I have no idea. It just seems like the Sanderses, their story just seems to be going downhill in weird ways. I feel terrible for Deion, but we've forgotten about him as a football coach. Like, that's not even a thing anymore.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to finish the season, quite frankly.
But
just had another surgery, and Kariuchi is 37, so...
Oh, it is Cariucci?
Cariucci, yeah. She's 37 years old. Deion is how old? Deion is.
But even if Deion was
58.
coaching the Colorado Buffaloes, they're totally irrelevant. They're absolutely since Shedeur and Travis Hunter left. It's like they're the old Colorado Buffaloes, even with Deion on the sideline. They just don't matter.
Which is funny because they brought in 5 stars. Like, they've brought in interesting quarterbacks. Like, they have guys who matter, but...
Disappointing. I was all into Caden Salter in the preseason, and they have Jordan Seaton, who's a star left tackle, but they, for some reason, haven't gotten together.
I'm going to pose a question to you in just a moment, and it's about the Heisman.
Okay.
But first, let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got all the latest and greatest for us. What's going on, Bogues?
Hey, guys. As everyone predicted, Cam Skadaboo, not Saquon Barkley, was the best running back on Thursday Night Football.
Handoff, Skadaboo into the line, to the goal line. No signal yet. And touchdown, Giants. Skadaboo's third rushing touchdown of the ball game. Oh, he does a backflip.
That's Bob Papa on Giants Radio. There might have been a cartwheel into that backflip. Skadaboo celebrating 19 carries, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns, but does not want to hear anything about him against Saquon.
It was Eagles versus Giants tonight. It wasn't a Scat versus Saquon. You know, it was Eagles versus Giants, and that's how it's going to stay because, you know, that 2 different football teams.
2 different.
He's answering that question way too seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody thought it was that.
He's him. I'm me. I wear white and blue. He's got green.
Did people come out of that game saying it was a Skadaboo Barkley showdown? They don't even feel like they're the same kind of running, whatever.
Yeah, I think as like a joke. Well, okay. I mean, listen, he had a better night than Barkley.
He did. But I feel like this is the beginning of many way too literal, a little like
he's that guy
answers.
Yeah, he's that guy. We're going to hear a lot of this. Okay. People are kind of into like this meathead thing he's got going.
Is there any other choice?
Took his shirt off last night on Amazon Prime.
Did he
with
really?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
After the game?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's why Maggie's got her phone in her hand.
I've got screen grabs for you guys.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'll be over here. Now, Skadaboo, I think it's going to be hard to keep the backflip thing up, too, if they're going to use him this much at the goal line.
So what happened last week against the Saints? None of
They
this
turned
was,
the ball over 5 times.
In a row.
Nothing was working right. I think and listen, we're going to have Nick Kostos on later in the show, your buddy Bogusch. He's a Giants fan, and he was on a victory tour last night. I don't think this win over the Eagles means what other people think it does. I think the Giants beat a reeling team last night.
Well, stand by for next hour because I have evidence to the contrary of how important this game was.
Really?
Wow, we got to wait a whole hour for that?
Wait,
What a
you can't,
tease.
are you going to pull something I said on the air?
Nope.
Because I did say yesterday on the show, Maggie was like, this should be an easy one. I'm like, no, it ain't.
I mean, it should have been an easy one. You should have scored more than 17 points. You
You
officially
see-
have a problem.
Yeah. Oh, but they let up 34 points to the Giants. Who cares?
They
if
should have
scored
scored 38.
They should have. 17 should have been enough to walk away with that win.
Spencer Rattler just outscored you.
I'm just saying.
Although I guess
this-
technically there was a defensive touchdown. Nope, they still did as I backtrack on the math.
You were genuinely shocked to see the Giants roll on the first 2 drives.
Stunned.
Yeah.
But then it made sense when it went from 13-3 to 17-13. Like, okay, here we are. Now we're back to normal.
Yeah, that's true.
And then your boys didn't score again somehow.
And also, they didn't get the ball back in the fourth quarter. I was annoyed. Anyway.
Also, what happened at the end of the first half? That was dumb. Brian Daboll kind of bailed out the Eagles by calling a timeout right as they were about to get the Eagles were about to get a delay of game. And then for some reason, Jalen Hurts did not get anyone organized at the line of scrimmage like he was a freshman making his first start.
What happened was they couldn't spike the ball because it was 4th down.
Yeah, I know. And it seems like everyone knew that but him.
Well, it doesn't matter. There was no way with 6 seconds they were getting a playoff.
But why did they rush to the line then? They couldn't even.
Just to try. I mean, the half was over. That was the idiotic Tank Bigsby, who they traded for just because he could return kicks, dropped the kickoff, so they started at the 7-yard line. That's another thing too. When the Eagles play badly, their special teams plays badly, and you saw it last night. Special teams are where you get that weird kickoff is everything in the NFL now. The Eagles are not good at it. Wait, how did you get me on this rant?
I don't know.
He's lost. He's in a fog.
The Eagles did it, losing 34-17 at the Giants last night. Those are the most points Big Blue has scored against the Eagles since 2012. And again, they led 13-3, gave up 14 straight points, then pitched a second-half shutout to get the win. Jaxson Dart, 253 yards of offense, a passing touchdown, and 1 rushing. On top of this second loss in 5 days, the Eagles began the night without D-tackle Jalen Carter because of a heel injury. Then cornerback Quinyon Mitchell made an early exit because of a hamstring. In other injury news, Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy still not practicing in Baltimore and San Francisco. Mac Jones in line for another start when the Niners face the Bucs this weekend. Cubs left fielder Ian Happ was 2 for 21 this postseason. His team facing elimination again last night against the Brewers. He was up in the first with 2 on.
The stretch by the right-hander Peralta. The pitch. A swing and a drive. Deep right field. It's got a chance. Gone. 3-run homer, Ian Happ. Cubs lead 3-0.
Again, in the bottom of the first inning of Game 4, the call from Pat Hughes on Cubs radio. Now Cubs manager Craig Counsell.
I'm just so happy for Ian. I think it was great for Ian to have the playoff moment that he deserved, and it was a huge swing,
Kyle Tucker, Michael Busch also went deep, while 5 pitchers combined for a 6-0 shutout. So Game 5 in Milwaukee tomorrow night. With the Dodgers waiting in the NLCS, they closed out the Phillies with a 2-1 11-inning thriller in their Game 4, the series-ending run, scoring on a throwing error by Phillies pitcher Orion Kerkering. That nerve irritation in LeBron's glute is actually sciatica. The Lakers say he is out another 3 to 4 weeks, so he'll miss opening night for the first time in his career.
A little bit of an irony, especially after LeBron pulled the very unpopular Hennessy ad that they labeled the second decision.
Yeah.
That he literally is out now with a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I saw people saying, rub
I'll
some
be here
Henny
all
on
morning.
it.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I was like, oh, yeah. A middle-aged man has a back problem. LeBron,
News at 11.
I feel you, buddy.
So that's the relatable thing about him.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, call me, LeBron. We'll hang out. I'm telling you, he's going to be my best friend at the end of this whole thing. He's going to sit on his couch all weekend watching football, just like I am.
I mean, he makes worse jokes than you, so you guys seem to be soulmates. And now Maggie, too, apparently.
If you watch the documentary, he's the cheesiest dad of all time in a good way. He has a back problem. I mean, Bogusch, you relate to this.
He's probably peeing all night, too. Can't get a good night's sleep.
3 or 4 times at night.
He clearly was balding and had that fixed.
Yeah. No, it's...
Wife's got a whole laundry list of things to do to fix around the house. He's just, he's going through it.
Oh, yeah. LeBron is a family man. Like, he's got a lot... The wife was thrilled about this. She's like, you're going to be home. We have to rearrange this cabinet. We got to get rid of some clothes. It's going to be great.
But now he can blame the back problem for why he can't do anything. Although when you have sciatica, it's painful to sit, is it not?
I've never had it. It does seem terrible, though.
I think that's one of the pain points is actually just sitting.
Yeah, I don't. That's like your left leg and hip goes wrong. Ugh,
we're old.
Yeah, I mean we're old, but like LeBron's trying to play NBA basketball.
It's not that much different than your Red Hook run.
Us getting up and getting to work every day.
All my damn respect too.
A little different.
Eric Spoelstra is expected to be named the next head coach of USA Basketball, replacing Steve Kerr. He was Kerr's lead assistant for the last Olympics. And on the first mega busy night of the NHL season, the number 1 overall pick, Matthew Schaefer, had an assist. But his Islanders lost in Pittsburgh 4-3, and the Seattle Kraken beat the Ducks 3-1 to start 1-0 for the first time in their 5 seasons. Guys, back to you.
Bogusch, okay, thank you. I have a question for you, and Bogusch, you're welcome to join if you want to weigh in on this as well. Okay, call it right now before we have a big slate in college football. You got Red River Rivalry. John Material is upgraded to probable, as we heard from Bogusch earlier in the show. You've got Ty Simpson and Alabama going to play Mizzou. Mizzou's sneaky good team. Not even sneaky, but if you're, if you're just a casual football fan, Mizzou's got a really good thing going right now. You've got Dante Moore playing Indiana. If I gave you Ty Simpson, the quarterback of Alabama, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of Indiana, playing Oregon this week, and Dante Moore, who Fernando Mendoza is going to be playing against, the quarterback of Oregon, or the field, who would you take for Heisman? You can have either these 3 guys or the field.
Great question. So it's October 10th. And if I remember my Heismanments, it is too early.
Still too early?
So the end of September it's a death knell. If you take the leader in Heisman in the end of September and you bet on him, you're just burning money.
Okay,
it's called the Leonard Fournette rule.
We're in the second week of October, so that doesn't apply.
It's October 10th. It's not that far from the end of September. It's 10 days. I think that it's too early. Dante Moore does make me nervous. That's the one guy on that list you just said that definitely scares me. I'm still going field. I mean, you left out Carson Beck, so that's a possibility. There aren't a lot of strong candidates yet, but in a wide open field like this, they might go off quarterback. You never know. So I'm going to take field.
If they went off quarterback, which wide receiver do you think they'd give it to?
Well, Jeremiah Smith hasn't had the numbers. Well, it could be. I mean, and there's no big running back this year. So maybe Jeremiah Smith.
Ruben Bain, does he? I mean, they're not going to give it to a. They never give it to a defensive
The other
guy
on Miami's been more effective anyway. No, I mean, listen, like if you put Carson Beck as the fourth guy on there, that would have been hard for me. Because we'll see. I mean, Oregon's look great. Are they going to run the table? Dante Moore is the problem, but his numbers aren't so blow you out of the water. I'm still taking the field. I don't know who. I don't even know who.
I think I'd take one of these three, and I think that whoever wins this Oregon-Indiana game, Oregon's a 7-point favorite in this game, but if Fernando Mendoza, who is obviously an NFL talent, if they somehow go into Oregon and win this game, I think that he probably shoots to the top. And Ty Simpson just looks great.
Yeah.
So I would like one of these three.
He's the one that makes me nervous just off the kind of the Alabama bump he'll get just from the institutional knowledge and respect of the Tide.
So I do think Carson Beck should be in here. I didn't put him in, though, because I wanted to give you a little something with the field and not make this such a landslide.
Well, Beck right now, I think, is the Vegas leader, and then Jeremiah Smith's third in Vegas odds. So he's the one but the funny thing is, we not watched Ohio State this year? I feel like they have not been on the radar for some reason. They just haven't. I mean, obviously the opening game against Texas, but we'll see. Here's the thing for Heisman voters: they need big, visible games at the end of the season. That is everything. It's very much about recency bias. So that's why I'm counting on the field. And
got a big matchup this weekend against Luke Altmaier in Illinois.
Yeah,
Ohio
but
State.
Again, let's talk early November. Those games just mean more in the Heisman race because people tend to go on recency bias, and I'm going to count on that. But I do think it's a very even question. Dante Moore in particular seems like he's a likable player. People just enjoy that dude.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. If we gave you Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza, and Dante Moore or the field, who do you think could win the Heisman? You either get those three quarterbacks or the field. What would you do? 888-710-4ISN. Coming up, lots more to do, including we go back to the NFL, not just last night's debacle / coming out party for the Giants, whatever way you were, Philly and Eagle debacle last night, or Giants maybe a glimmer of hope? Maybe the dark ages are over here for the New York Giants? Possibly. And we have more matchups for you to preview. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Bogusch with the news. Top story of the day, and it's not what you'd expect. A WNBA game took quite the turn on the court. Direct fourth quarter action, tension in the air. Then a green object flew, causing quiet stare.
It was, let's call it an unlicensed personal item, launched from the upper deck like a heat-seeking missile.
Bogusch with the news, trying not to laugh, reporting on a rubber toy that landed near the staff. He kept it clean, he kept it tight, but Maggie's face turned ghostly white and Perloff grinned from ear to ear.
Did it bounce? He asked, then spilled his beer.
Security swarmed like it was Game 7. The item ejected sent straight to heaven. Fans on Twitter turned into sleuths, tracking the trajectory with uncomfortable truth.
League officials have confirmed it was not team issued. No players were involved and no one's claiming ownership. Pause.
And yes, Perloff, it was fully charged. Now every update Bogusch treads, random objects flying overheads. He just wants scores, stats, a clean night, but now it's toys, TikToks, and fluorescent lights. Bogusch with the news, delivering it straight, even when the subject's not exactly great. From buzzer beaters to vibrating scenes, he's the anchor who keeps it clean. But deep inside he knows it's true, the green toy flew and so did his view. Security swarmed like it was Game 7. The item ejected, sent straight to heaven. He kept it clean, he kept it tight, but Maggie's face turned ghostly white. Perloff grinned from ear to ear to ear. Did it bounce? Dear, did it bounce? He asked, spilled his beer. Security swarmed like it was still his beer. Security swarmed like it was Game 7. The item ejected, sent straight to heaven. Fans on Twitter turned into sleuths, tracking the trajectory with uncomfortable truth.
League officials have confirmed it was not team issued. No players were involved and no one's claiming ownership. Pause.
And yes, Perloff, it was fully charged. Now every update Bogusch treads, random objects fly. Yeah. Perloff talking reckless, anti-AI rhetoric. Nick loving scared of cold like it's too pathetic. No bots in a battle, what's that aesthetic? You still using flip phones, bro, that's pathetic. You a relic in the booth trying to... Man, he woke up, eyes full of dread. His yellow wiffle bat was gone from the shed. He checked the closet, Remember Bobo Brazil, I grew out of wrestling.
.45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. Got a poll question out there for you. LA Dodgers clinch a spot in the NLCS. They wipe away Perloff's Philadelphia Phillies with I don't even know what you call it. They were the recipient of a Phillies error in the bottom of the 11th inning. Loading the bases, comebacker to the pitcher who kind of booted the ball, decided to go home with a wild throw as opposed to going to first base and getting the out. And that's how the Dodgers secure a spot in the NLCS. We're asking you, do the Dodgers look more vulnerable or dynastic? Right now, dynastic slightly leading Pearl, 56% to 44%.
It's just weird to me how their bats went cold. I'm used to the Phillies going cold in the playoffs. It's been kind of 3 years in a row. So, and Shohei, I thought was healthy and ready to go. I mean, I'm sorry. I still think pitching him is a mistake. Like, he's the best hitter in baseball. Maybe, well, him and Aaron Judge are 1A and 1B. And he does not look like it right now. Did they really need to go 7 innings with him in game 1? He was good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they won that game.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did let up 3 runs. The Phillies their bullpen totally blew it. I think that I would just let him hit, but I think I'm in the minority on that one. You think it's still a cool story, but it's not a cool story if he's striking out 3 times a game.
I don't know. They're still advancing.
There's nothing cool about Shohei in this series. It wasn't the experience. I mean, imagine if Barry Bonds in his prime, which is what Shohei should be, struck out more than he made contact.
The problem is that the Dodgers are so deep that it doesn't really even matter. I'm not saying it won't matter, but it doesn't. They won the World Series last year with him, basically with one arm, and they've got guys who have been contributing series after series after series, not just the stars. They're not top-heavy like your Phillies. So
I mean, true, but they do have, you can't help but notice, Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. That's 3 MVPs. How many lineups have 3 MVPs?
Yeah, and meanwhile, it's like the Kike Hernandezes and the Teoscar Hernandezes who come through. Okay, you're welcome to weigh in on the baseball side of things. We're going to get a Game 5 in the other NL series because the Cubs won last night to even the series with the Brewers. And then tonight we get the decisive Game 5 between the Mariners and the Tigers. Winner of that series faces off against the Toronto Blue Jays. But Pearl, we got to get to the NFL because Sunday night we got an excellent matchup. It's the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Detroit Lions. And Kansas City, to me, is actually in a very vulnerable spot. They go on the road and lose to Jacksonville in that last-second scramble by Trevor Lawrence, where Chris Jones, the defensive end, tackle, whatever, the defense, all-world defensive everything for the Chiefs, admitted he quit on the play. Trevor Lawrence falls twice, gets into the end zone, though, gets up, gets into the end zone. And now, if the Chiefs lose this game, they would go to 2-4 on the season. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Chargers. They've got injuries on the offensive line and, quite frankly, all over the place. But this would be panic time if you're the Chiefs. I know that we expect them to be there year after year, but 2-4 is not a joke.
No, 2-4 it's not as bad as 1-5. That's math. That's pure math.
Can't get that kind of analysis.
I remember we did
else.
a lot of numbers on the Bengals last year. We're 1-4, and everybody was looking at, can they make the playoffs? What does NFL history say? 2-4 is totally possible. First of all, I mean, the Lions are incredibly beat up for this game on defense, so the Chiefs have a great chance to win this game. But the Lions have been playing great. There's no doubt about it. I don't think you can judge the Chiefs on the early season because Rashee Rice comes back for their next game. It's going to be a completely different team in the second half. And Mahomes looks great. If Mahomes can stay healthy and plays like this, I just can't see the Chiefs being kept out of the playoffs. And once they're in, anything can happen.
They get a little luck that the Raiders are terrible. They're going through their own issues right now with Pete Carroll kind of calling out Chip Kelly.
But you mean
offense.
The last 21 years that they're
Well,
yeah. You can pick any specific. The Raiders are the Raiders.
Yeah,
nothing changed.
The Raiders continue to Raider. As I said, the Chargers, who looked awesome out of the gate, beating the Chiefs in Brazil and looking like defense looked amazing. The offense looked amazing, but now they've fallen a little bit on hard times too.
Yeah, the big threat is the Broncos, for sure.
And now the Broncos. But, the Broncos, it's kind of been a little uneven. Now, it depends on how you think they are getting better. Okay.
I mean, they should have beaten the Colts. You said that.
I did think they should have beaten the Colts.
Yeah, they're a defensive-oriented team, which is funny because they have Sean Payton. I think that they did lose a game to the Chargers, you're right.
Yeah.
But they should have beaten the Colts. They should really be 4-1. They have a great defense, and that's one thing that carries in this league.
I just wonder how good is that win against Philadelphia, actually. You've been sitting here this morning as a downtrodden Eagles fan telling me the season is over.
Well,
they go into your house and have a big second-half comeback.
I mean, the Eagles still were holding on to some healthy players for that game. They obviously had Jalen Carter in that game and Quinyon Mitchell last night. They didn't have those guys. They were down 17-3. That was impressive. But their defense really, really dominated the Eagles. Nick Bonito, strong candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to probably go hog wild. They have the Jets this weekend. So that's the thing.
In London.
Yeah, I think they're going to go to 4-2. I think the Broncos are a much bigger threat to the Chiefs. And also, Sean Payton is kind of a good coach.
You think?
Yeah. I resist the Broncos because I didn't like the way they treated Russell Wilson, to be honest, Maggie. No, I'm just kidding. But
I was like,
they're they're a choppy team. But that being said, the Chiefs at 2-4. First of all, I think they have a great chance to win this weekend because Detroit has so many defensive injuries. Again, I don't know how they keep doing this. If they don't, they'll get Rashee Rice back and be a different team. You're a Bills fan, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you really think that the Chiefs are going to go away? They're your boogeyman. They have to be mathematically eliminated for you to relax about this.
Well,
team.
of course, and they deserve that because of how good they've been. But you always talk about the Eagles. This is all catching up to the team, and they're tired, and this and that. And I'm like, well, it's never actually caught up to the Chiefs. Maybe it is, guys. Maybe it is. maybe this is what it looks like. Uncharacteristic losses where you think that they're going to win, and maybe we just get that same script. Now, can I tell you another prediction I have? And I'm not like writing the eulogy here for the Chiefs, but if they somehow do not make the playoffs, I think Kelce comes back.
You jabroni!
I don't even know if he's necessarily going to retire after the year. Kind of feels like he's got his hands full here with this whole Taylor Swift thing and the fact that he's like, already a first ballot Hall of Famer and
a movie star.
And
in movies.
He's, it's been trending downwards. But if they don't make the playoffs, he's got to come back. They can't go out. He can't go out like that.
Yeah, wow. And he's actually playing well.
Yeah, he is. Better when Worthy's on the field.
Yeah, it's like, Gronk had trouble walking away ultimately, so maybe Kelce will extend it. Most players do.
Coming up, previewing every NFL game this weekend in 60 seconds or less. We get you set for what should be a pretty fun one. Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Dart, straight back. He's loading up. Starting to run. He tries to bounce left. Now he bounces right. Still looking. And he fires it to Wendell Robinson, who makes the catch, breaks the tackle, and runs in for a touchdown. Drew Makuba blew the tackle. He had him around the waist and let him go.
Aw, sad Mel Reese on Eagles radio as the Giants took it to the defending champs last night. A bit of a stunning result. Final score in this game, 34-17. And the Giants felt like they were in control of this one. Good morning, Perloff. This was a tough morning to be a Philadelphia sports fan. Your Phillies got eliminated by the Dodgers in the NLDS last night. And then your Eagles go into MetLife Stadium and laid an egg. Second in a row.
Totally saw both of them coming, by the way. But this stat that blew me away out of this game, Jaxson Dart is one of 3 QBs ever to run for 50 yards in his first 3 games, the other 2 being Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. The difference is Lamar Jackson knows how to avoid contact. He's an expert at it. Jalen Hurts, pretty good at it, too. Jaxson Dart is clearly going to get hurt, by the way.
You sound like a hater. But I think you're absolutely right. But it does sound like, that's the first thing you're going to. The rookie came in with all this energy last night. He and Cam Scatterbill look like they're the next generation for the Giants. All this energy. They're human battering rams, I'll give you that. But they took it to your Eagles. They were the aggressors last night, which is what we're not used to seeing.
Every Giants fan I follow on X was like, Jackson, you got to get down. You're in danger. Well, obviously, this is the same formula that Brian Dable won with Daniel Jones, a running quarterback. Running quarterbacks are tricky. They even the playing field. If Dart doesn't move around, he was actually pretty good out of the pocket, which I think is interesting. Not the running around stuff, because that's not just can't last.
Yeah,
I mean that's not sustainable. He will obviously grow as a quarterback. Yeah, he's very excited. He was awesome in the preseason too. It's amazing the fact that they won with that receiving core. Lil Jordan Humphrey was giving the Eagles fits. But I don't think that everyone knows how vulnerable the Eagles were coming in. I honestly don't think people, even in Philly, were looking at this team closely enough, despite the 4-0 start. There are holes all over the lineup. They became glaringly obvious last night.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustrations on Philadelphia's side of this. And I think some of these numbers that tell the story of last night and why the Giants were able to come away with a win. First of all, they didn't have 5 turnovers like they did against the Saints last week. But look at this stark difference, and you could feel this in the game. Philadelphia Eagles, 1 for 9 on third down. And I felt like there were a couple of Jalen Hurts was taking sacks on some of those third down plays, too, as he was trying to scramble around and make something happen.
Why do you think they were 1 for 9 on third down? Because it was 3rd and 9, because they ran the ball into the line. Again, they can't run the ball. Of course you're going to be bad on third down.
Meanwhile, the Giants, 11 for 16. They were moving the ball against your Eagles
and
defense,
why is that?
Pearl, because they can run the ball.
No.
Because they can pass the ball.
Because the Eagles can't rush the passer. They went from the most ferocious defensive line to bottom 3 in sacks in the NFL. The Eagles got no pressure on them at all. Sorry, I'm seeing this through Eagles-colored glasses. But Jaxson Dart, a lot of poise on third down. That was impressive. I didn't mean to be a hater on Jackson, but that dude's going to get killed. If he goes up against a real defense, I think he has – does he have Denver coming up on the schedule? He can't do that. It's just a fact.
Yeah, it's a lot of head first. And the thing about Cam Scatterbill, who scored 3 touchdowns last night, took his shirt off in the Amazon Prime postgame show and just is now doing backflips. Like they're the full entertainment package, these two. So, they're going to be now front and center in your life, sort of in your face with these two young guys.
No,
but
the Giants will disappear in 2 weeks.
Well, but the one thing about it, and for some reason, it seems like every time he takes contact, it's not the shoulder, it's like his head, his helmet. He should be in the concussion protocol tent after every play, it feels like. But maybe you got to slow it down a little bit more. This was an impressive win for the Giants. And the Eagles, you, Pearl, said they're begging to lose another game. They just lost to Denver last week, and now this is 2 in a row.
In 2023, when the Eagles collapse started after the 10-1 start, they got killed by the Giants. I mean, blown out by a Giants team that was between tanking and giving up.
Yeah.
And they just destroyed them. So the question is this more a function of the Eagles being bad or the Giants? Yeah, they're definitely onto something with Jaxson Dart. He's going to be good, but is it going to be this year? And the question is, will Brian Daboll, how many games does he need to win to be back? Or is this enough just to look good?
I think it's just enough to look good. I do. And I think that John Mara, the owner of the Giants, who now is unfortunately announced that he's sick, he's battling cancer. I think that they want stability. I think they want to get off this merry-go-round of hiring coaches. And he's very involved on the personnel side, John Mara. Like if he's not going to be well enough maybe to even be doing coaching searches, I have no idea. But I think that they will keep Daboll. I think that they've shown enough. And listen, it's going to be up and down. Like, they've had to simplify the offense. Yep. They're basically running Lane Kiffin's offense, what they said, from back at Ole Miss. And, it's going to have games like last week where he turns the ball over inexplicably and drops the ball and fumbles and stuff. And then you're going to have games like last night in front of the home crowd where you're nails on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and just keeping the ball moving and even rush for a touchdown last night.
Yeah. But this is just not me. A lot of Giants people were like, "Oh, Jaxson, Then he got hurt. He went to
into the tent.
Blue tent, which we joked that he has a picture of his family in there.
He's set up like a dorm room. A black light.
Got a
picture of Scarface.
Dorm room, a Ferrari poster.
Yeah, what's like the dorm room starter kit? It's always like Bob Marley poster. I don't know. You guys are closer to college age than I am at this point. It's like Bob Marley poster, Scarface poster.
That is a 1997. Which was
I was there in the early 2000s. There.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a Scarface picture up in my dorm room.
What'd you have, Connor?
What did I have? I think I had a Beatles poster up there, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
In 22 Jump Street, the sequel to 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum, they get a dorm room. They go back to college, and he puts up a poster of a Lamborghini, and they have a 5-minute argument about whether Lambos are cool or not. Jonah Hill's like, Lamborghinis are not cool, man. You don't put that up.
Can I ask a question to the men in here? Is it still a thing for young men to put pictures of pretty women on the wall? Because now you got women in your phone. Like, you don't have to work as hard to see a lot of skin. Like, you don't need to have, Tyra Banks in a bikini on the cover of Sports Illustrated up in a dorm room. So I'm wondering, is that rite of passage kind of gone?
Well, I also think there's political correctness around it, too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on a college campus with a bunch of bros, like in a frat house. I don't think that's politically correct. I'm saying if you walked into, what's a frat? AE5? I don't even know. I don't even know a frat. I can't think of one. No, SAE? You walk into the SAE house on the university at Auburn or something. I'm just picking random stuff out of a hat. You think that there's not a picture of chicks on the wall?
No.
Okay. But that's not because they're being politically correct. No, I think it's because you can watch porn on your phone.
No, I think they are. Like, I'll know this from the Dan Patrick show. We used to have the Wall of Morale. All this. Do you remember that? The swimsuit posters?
Yeah.
And then in 2017 or something, someone said, yeah, you can't do that anymore.
But you guys aren't a frat house. You were a publicly very front-facing television show.
Yeah, no, frat houses are under siege, across the country. Like, they have so much to deal with. And no, I think that they bring women home and it'd just be lame to have a photo of. I'm imagining. I'll call my old chapter Theta Delta Chi Dartmouth. There was
Can we FaceTime them? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. They're up, right?
It was a frat. There was no posters of women. What do you think happens at a frat? Did you not? You didn't go to a frat school, did you?
I did not.
Yeah,
no.
You have no idea.
I didn't go to a Greek
You're just guessing
school.
Based on a series of 6 or 7 movies what actually happens at a frat.
Well, no, I mean, I've been to frat parties, no doubt.
Where?
University of Maryland, where my best friend went.
College Park, yeah.
Were there a lot of Tyra Banks posters on the wall?
I don't remember now, so long ago, but I think that was a thing where guys used to still have posters of pretty women up on the wall. And when I was in college from 2001 to 2005.
I'm just thinking of Andy Dufresne and Shawshank when he had Rita Hayworth up on the wall.
to use his escape hatch, right?
Yeah, right.
Who is the woman, the beautiful woman, not Bo Derek, who walked out of the...
Jane Fonda, the last one, I think.
He had like a Bond girl up there. Rita Hayworth, definitely.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe, I think, was up there as well.
Was it Barbarella is the last one he had? Or
yeah, who is that?
Well, that's Jane Fonda. Was it or was it the famous... Did you say not Sophia Loren? Yeah,
It might have been Sophia Loren. Anyway.
Raquel something?
Raquel
Welch.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job,
Yep.
Connor.
There we go.
I've only ever seen it in my friend's father's garage. So I
Really?
guess it is not, I don't know. Yeah.
So it's not a young person thing. It's actually an older man's thing. Who was the woman he had up there? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't know.
Didn't recognize her?
Yeah, no.
Star in some right, I'm sure. Anyway, we got a little sidetrack there. Poll question, Connor, do college kids
No,
still
don't
put
put that.
pictures of pretty women up on the
that
wall?
Makes it sound like idiots.
100%
Do not
yes.
put that poll up. This is a recreation. Lambos are cool, man. Like, don't.
I don't know.
You just said like an SAE at Auburn. We sound like we're talking about a different planet here. Like,
I don't know. I also kind of think like there's a more things change, the more they stay the same type of thing. Men are still men. Young men are still young men. I don't know. Are we that much different than it was 20 years ago?
don't put the poll up.
Okay, let's get to the NFL preview in 60. All right, every game in less than 60 seconds. Connor, where are we starting?
All right, guys, we're starting to cross the pond with the Broncos and Jets beginning at 9:30 on Sunday.
Yeah, Jets still have 0 takeaways.
That's
and
the best stat ever.
It's amazing stat. 0 takeaways.
First team ever.
And only 5 sacks. This is the first team to ever do that. So bottom line, could be a big day for Bo Nix, bro.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm not really thinking about Bo Nix. I'm thinking about that Denver defense, that they're really going to get after the Jets. Nick Bonito, 7 sacks. Brian Burns caught up to him for the league lead. I made a bet preseason. I think he goes off in this game. Justin Fields actually been kind of effective in a weird way, but usually it's in garbage time. I really like the Broncos in this one, even though weird things happen overseas.
Yeah, weird things happen overseas, but I don't think weird things are going to happen here. If the Broncos are serious about taking this division from the Chiefs, then you easily wipe away with teams like the Jets, even if you're overseas. Who's next?
Awesome, guys. So now we have 2 guys who used to be in Philly, Cardinals and Colts, Shane Steichen against Jonathan Gannon.
Are you ready to accept, Maggie, that Shane Steichen is the man? They are 4th overall in offense, 4th in passing offense with Daniel Jones and their quarterback. They look great. Shane Steichen is really putting on a show right now. That being said, the Cardinals defense is kind of salty. Kyler Murray, foot injury, that's the other thing. Like, what are the Cardinals really even going to be? He didn't practice on Wednesday. I feel like the Cardinals this season could get away with him fast after that drama last week with their head coach and the running back.
I mean, you can't lose a game worse than what Arizona did last week. Coach was embattled, got fined for pushing his own player on the sidelines. But this is my big question about this game. The Colts, as you mentioned, 2nd best offense in terms of points per game. Arizona's defense only allowing 19 points per game, and Colts allow a lot of explosive plays. So maybe we get some Marvin Harrison Jr. highlights. But if Murray's hobbled, then it's going to be so hard. Who's next?
Yeah, so then moving down to Miami. The Chargers coming off of 2 losses in a row. Chargers and Dolphins at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, gotta love the Tua, Justin Herbert. They'll forever be linked in the draft where they went 1 spot away from each other. This could be like a potential get-right game here for the Chargers. Did you know this stat, Pro? Mike McDaniel, who earlier in the show you said is shaping up to be the next Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator, he's 3-14 playing against teams with winning records. How does this guy have a job?
The Dolphins' biggest problem is they can't stop the run, right? Like, they just get mauled in the run game, which is funny because they spent all this money on their defense. But who is the Chargers running back? I still can't wrap my head around this depth chart.
Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal.
Who?
Studs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anybody can run on the Dolphins. We'll see. I mean, Rico Dowdle just put a 200 spot on them. So we'll see if the Chargers can run on this. It's Mike McDaniel. I'm watching him because I think he could be a great Eagles OC. Go ahead.
We head down to the Caesars Superdome where the Patriots coming off a big win against the Bills, taking on the Saints.
Look ahead game. Not look ahead, but look back. Patriots feeling themselves off a primetime game against a Saints team who is strangely competitive in bizarre games. Worried about the Patriots here. I think they're a way better team. I think Drake May is going to be great. But I do worry about a little bit of letdown. And, they're favored by 3.5 points here. I feel like this game could be really close.
This is a game for the Patriots. Are you serious? Are you serious? Was that just a one-off win where Stephon Diggs got up to play against the Bills and you go in and beat Josh Allen and everyone is like patting themselves on the back? Or are you serious? You can go on the road and maybe Diggs has another big game. If he has another like 80-plus yard kind of receiving, he had over 100 yards against Buffalo, then I'll start to take them a lot more seriously.
And next up, we have an AFC North battle in Pittsburgh, the Browns and the Steelers.
Yeah, the backup quarterback conversation has really taken over this one, hasn't it? It feels like we haven't watched the Steelers play in about a year and a half because of that bye week, and they were in Europe before that, right? So to me, this is the Steelers' division now. The Ravens are down. The Bengals are down. The Browns are a mess. This, to me, has got to be Steelers' emphatic win. I know they're not going to blow anyone out, Pearl. I don't know if it's possible with that offense. But this is their division to win, and I think it would be disappointing now if Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers do not win the AFC North. Like, by a lot. Like, by 3 games.
Who cares about the Steelers? Am I going to see Shedeur in this game? Just tell me right now. I need to see Shedeur. I think it's, one thing about the Steelers' defense is not good. This could be a nice game for Dylan Gabriel. And he seems to have chemistry with David Njoku. I don't know. And also, people love Aaron. Have you seen any of the experts talk about Aaron Rodgers? Like, there are some people who are saying, like, he's been an MVP candidate.
Oh, come on.
It was
no.
Tom Brady said he's been masterful. Like, he said people do not understand how good Aaron Rodgers has been running this defense because he's getting rid of the ball immediately and helping them avoid bad plays. So that's something because the Steelers you're right, I don't even remember. That seems like 2 months ago they played.
Yeah, I think TJ Watt, they're going to have a field day with Dylan Gabriel if he holds on to the ball at all. Who's next?
Moving on to Carolina, who is at home hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow, this is everyone was talking about, guy comes back to his old team games. People didn't see this on the schedule. Rico Dowdle against the Cowboys. Rico Dowdle of 206 yards last week against one of the worst run defenses in the league. Dangerous game for the Cowboys, who I'm liking a lot lately because George Pickens looks really good filling in for CeeDee Lamb. But you have to admit, the Panthers are a wildly unpredictable team.
No clue. Can I give you a stat here about the Cowboys? Only team in the NFL this season scoring and allowing 30 points per game. Got that from ESPN. First team to do it through 5 games since the 2021 Chiefs, which I don't remember that Chiefs defense being so bad. But if your defense is as a sieve as the Cowboys are, you can lose to anybody. But Dak is generally good on the road in Carolina.
One of the more surprising teams to begin the year, the Jaguars hosting the Seahawks.
This one, to me, can Seattle get any pressure on Trevor Lawrence? Seattle could not get any pressure on Baker Mayfield, and we saw what happened. And that became a shootout, even though Seattle's defense is supposed to be very, very good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Jags defense leads the league with 14 takeaways, and they're going to need a lot of Travis Hunter, I think, in this game. See if the defense can keep it going. But my biggest thing is, can Seattle get pressure on Lawrence?
Do you know who leads the league in EPA per play at quarterback? And it's not even close.
Sam
Darnold by far. He is having analytically the best season in the NFL, in part because they protected him really well. That's the key to Sam Darnold. I mean, I think you're a little more negative on Sam Darnold. If you get him a clean pocket, that dude will shred you. Jacksonville, and they don't have, I believe that Trayvon Walker is still out. So this could be a real test. Then again, Sam will throw picks, and that's what Jacksonville has been thriving off.
The Cooper Rush-led Ravens welcome in the Rams to Baltimore.
Oh, listen, the Rams, people are not talking about the fact that they kind of blew a game last week. The Rams are in danger of not reaching their potential in my mind. They're playing way too many close games. They need to they need to do what everyone's been doing to Baltimore and score 40 points on this defense. Yeah, I want to see Matthew Stafford have a full glory game.
Well, you're going to, because the Ravens defense is allowing 262 passing yards per game. So I think if anyone's going to get right on this, it could be the Rams and Stafford. It's still weird to me to see the Ravens be a team that other opponents seem to, get right on.
But can the Rams really run like the other team? Like they're still not a good run team. I mean, Kyron Williams is okay, but that's the thing in Baltimore. You should be gashing them for 200 yards on the ground. I don't know if the Rams are capable of that because it seems like Puka Nacua is the entire offense.
Some are calling this the game of the weekend. We got the Titans and the Raiders in Vegas.
Those people with massive head injuries? Listen, Cam Ward's got my attention. I know this is actually probably more of a story about Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly suddenly not on the same page, the Raiders head coach and offensive coordinator. Listen, it's two big names, bro. You're rolling your eyes at me.
No, I mean, just to get caught up in the details. Anything that happens in that building is going to go south, whether it be Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll. Every situation with the Raiders will be Raidered up.
So Cam Ward's got my attention. We'll start with what I said initially. It took such a foible of a comedy of errors for Arizona to hand the Titans their first win. Well, let's see what the Titans do off of that.
Yeah, I mean, I like the rookie battle because the Raiders keep saying we got to run Ashton Jeanty more, and he's looked really good actually. Although the results and win-loss have not been there. Maybe a possible offensive. Who's the Emeka Lucas? I guess will run away with it. But Jeanty is going to trend up. I'm interested in watching him.
Leads all rookies in rushing attempts and rushing yards this season.
Joe Flacco takes on the Packers for the second time, this time in a Bengals uniform on the road.
Oh, I heard the stat. I got to remember the quarterback. Joe Flacco could be the first guy to win 2 games against the same team on 2 different teams since a Buffalo Bills quarterback. Can you name who it is? Old school.
How old?
He was on a vice presidential ticket.
Oh, Jack Kemp?
Jack Kemp was the last quarterback to beat the same team twice while on 2 different teams in the same season. So Flacco beat the Packers a couple weeks ago. Really, the Browns defense did. I like this Flacco Hail Mary for the Bengals. I think Flacco can at least throw the ball long. I think he's a better option. I don't know what happened to Jake Browning. I used to like that guy. I figure why not take a shot with the Bengals? They're 2-3, desperate times. Call for desperate measures.
This is all about the Packers. You're coming off a tie against the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like, you've got to really, I think you got to win this game by double digits. That's got to send the message, hey, we are a Super Bowl contender.
They just lost to Joe Flacco 2 weeks ago.
Can't squeak by.
Squeak by. They need to win this game. What are you talking about? They just literally lost to the same quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. This is about the Packers to me.
Double-digit win. I think this game is going to be a game.
No. The Bengals defense, Pearl, is awful. Joe Flacco beat them when he was with the Browns, who have one of the best defenses in the league. This is not the same game that Joe's going to find himself in.
Yeah, I mean, the spread is monstrous. I do see
what is it right now? Is
14
it 14 and a half?
14 to 14 and a half.
Yeah. All right, who's next, Connor?
Baker Mayfield and the Bucs welcoming in the 4-1 49ers.
Tough. Mac Jones at practice yesterday, but not doing anything. Did you see that? There was some competing things with San Francisco beat writers about how much did he actually throw and what did it look like. Bottom line, this has got to be, Tampa's getting a very vulnerable team coming across the country to play them. I mean, if you don't have a quarterback, I don't know if you have a chance. Even with Christian McCaffrey, this can be very, very tough.
Tampa Bay's got injuries, though, too. They're hurt all over the roster. And Mac Jones had the same situation a couple weeks ago and came out and played really well. So he's played well with that injury.
He's even more hurt, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was getting.
He wasn't supposed to play, remember? And there was even in the middle of the game, Adrian Martinez was supposed to come out. And Mac came back out and played okay. Seems like McCorkle Jones is kind of tough. I mean, Tampa Bay is riding high right now. Baker is on a heater. They're everybody's favorite team. We'll see. I'm telling you, watch their injuries all over the field. And if it gets worse, this start is going to fade.
And our Sunday night game has Patrick Mahomes up against Jared Goff in Kansas City, Lions and Chiefs.
Yeah, we talked about this one before. This is a huge, huge game for Kansas City. 2-4, even with the cachet and the history and all the talent of the world at Kansas City, you got to be panicking a bit if they lose this game. And you wonder, after all these long seasons, we said, well, how does Kansas City just do this year in and year out? But you know what? Maybe this is the season where it's catching up on them because we're used to them winning a game on the road against Jacksonville. We're used to the defense making a play when they need to. We're used to Patrick Mahomes punching the ball into the end zone when he needs to. And it just hasn't looked like that so far this year.
Yeah, on the Detroit side, Kirby Joseph, they're really good safety out. Terry Arnold, good news, he might be back this season, but I don't think he's going to do anything this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown has not been practicing. What happens to the Lions defense? Why do the Chargers and the Lions keep getting hurt? That's where I give Kansas City a chance. Kansas City's not great now, but if the Lions are beat up in their secondary, then maybe Mahomes finally has some downfield success.
Okay, we'll save the Monday night games for Monday night, but thank you guys for that. Great job. Coming up, we have lots more to do, including Perloff has officially announced that the Eagles season is over. Are we going to allow him to jump off the bandwagon that easily? Plus, a lot of college football that comes your way, and one big question about the Dodgers. But, Pearl, let's talk about PrizePicks, shall we?
Yeah, what do you got going, Maggie?
Okay, so I'm hoping for a big bounce back tonight, really. Because last night, I don't know why, but Saquon Barkley and Christian Yelich both not coming through for me last night. But you want to know what? We love PrizePicks, and one of the best things about it is when you start a new streak. It's such a good feeling. And so tonight, how about this for you? Can you give me a little Asia Wilson? I'm going back to the WNBA Finals. Ace is on the brink of clinching another title. 25.5 points is where this is set. I'm going to go more than. And then how about a little Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, in an elimination game against the Tigers? 4.5 hitter fantasy score. Let's go more than on that as well. I'm feeling good on PrizePicks today.
Yeah, this is usually where I stump Manny, but Manny is out with what team is a soccer player on. Can I give you Anthony Christian Morris, the goalie for Luxembourg? 4.5 goalie saves. That's the kind of range you get on PrizePicks.
He's on my fantasy team.
You can go to all sorts of sports. It's so much fun. Make sure you get paid for having the right takes. Unlike Maggie last night, although I think you're going to get back on track tonight. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code MNP and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on PrizePicks to get $50 of bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
The Maggie Perloff Show, and this MLS game preview is sponsored by Lowe's. Upgrade your laundry routine with the new reliable and powerful Maytag laundry pair at Lowe's. Shop in store or online today. Give them all you got, Scarpacci.
Following a pause for the FIFA international break, MLS returns tomorrow with Inter Miami hosting Atlanta at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Lionel Messi looks to break his season-long 3-game goalless game streak. With 2 games left in the regular season, Lionel Messi is tied for most goals in the MLS, with Dennis Buanga of LA with 24 goals on the season, and his 17 assists trail San Diego's Anders Dreyer, who leads the MLS with 18. With a win against Atlanta tomorrow, Miami can tie Cincinnati in points with 62 for second in the Eastern Conference.
A role you were born to play, Scarpacci. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. Hi, sir.
Hello again. Headlines this time are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Okay, here we go, Pearl. Now, you think the Giants win last night? Not that big of a deal because the Eagles aren't that good right now.
That's my thought, yes.
As a counter, I present to you our idiot friend / Giants superfan, Sean Morash.
Tonight, for the first time in too many goddamn years versus the Philadelphia Eagles, we had the better quarterback. We had the better running back. And we had the better football team, Justin. How good does that feel, man?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is Shawnee in tears.
Who's Justin?
Justin is the co-host, and thankfully Justin is also taken aback by Sean in tears on their Giants podcast reaction episode taped overnight.
Man, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Morash is frayed at the seams here. His nerves. This dude's one Giants L away from having to be institutionalized. That is not the response of a rational person.
I heard a good analogy. Tell me if you guys buy this one. It was on the NFL Network podcast with Greg Rosenthal. Great podcast. And he said there's going to be a Jeremy Lin vibe around Jaxson Dart. Nobody jumps on faster than New York fans to anything, any shiny object that they can get into.
Well, that's
I feel like they're going to hype him up to, as you hear with Sean, like an unnatural level almost instantaneously.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Maybe Jaxson Dart is a little safer bet to last than Jeremy Lin was. I mean, if Jaxson Dart is a, borderline flash in the pan, then Sean will be dead soon.
Yeah, I mean, Jaxson Dart was a first-round pick. Jeremy Lin was on the couch,
right?
That's true. That's true. But I do think in general, this is a town that does get excited really fast.
Yes. And including the guys involved last night, Sean's upset, or Sean's emotional because the Giants beat the Eagles 34-17 because Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterboot combined for 4 rushing touchdowns. The defense held the Eagles scoreless after halftime. For their efforts, Dart and Scatterboot found themselves on the Amazon Prime post-game set.
Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off!
I'm not sure whose female voice that is.
Carissa Thompson.
In there, okay. And of course,
she was leading the Take It Off chant, which, by the way, I was trying to think when I saw this, what's the more effective chant? Because a Take It Off chant, it's effective. Like
1 for 1 last night.
A simple chant. Do it. Do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, yeah.
do it, do
Yeah.
it. Has anyone ever not done it after a do it chant starts?
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
What
Whatever
choice you
it
have?
is, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm ready to do whatever. Anyone got something for me to do?
Get
You
it
got
off.
me.
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Do it.
Oh, he's doing it. He's taking it off. YouTube.com/Infinity Sports Net. We're about to
Take
get
it off.
flagged for
All I do is take it off the jacket that I'm mysteriously wearing.
2 hoodies on
Do you notice
today.
it's freezing in here?
If you take it off, we might notice
Take
more.
it off. I mean, you're going to have trouble doing that.
Yeah. Get it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
And Cam Scatterby, by the way, did take it off last night, ripping off his shirt.
Oh, yeah, Scatterby! Okay! Woo! Now give the woo! Yeah! Scatterby!
I think we need the Scatterboo chant.
Scatterboo! Scatterboo! Scatterboo!
There we go.
So
Saquon sucks. Enjoy him.
Somebody's going to
Yeah.
start doing the
No.
worm or something. And
Definitely.
that was a fever pitch.
Definitely Jeremy Lin. I go back. You can.
well, Scatterby might be more Jeremy Lin than Jaxson Dart is.
Actually, that's a good one.
Because Scatterby might, I don't know, walk off into the East River at some point, just get lost and not come back.
Actually, I don't think, Jeremy Lin famously went to Harvard. I don't know if Scatterby swimming in those waters. No, that's not a dig on Arizona State.
Is,
it's the Harvard of the Southwest.
It's what? No, I'm just saying Scatterby to me, he is like in a Gronkowski kind of lane right now.
He's a football player. If you're going to make a TV show, he's your running back.
Yeah. Young Chad Powers.
Yeah, or what's his name? He's Riggins from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
he's like a fullback running back type.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I like him in our lives. He was fantastic at Arizona State. Even Al Michaels was talking last night about how it was the most impressive thing he saw that Arizona State game against Texas.
How many beers did he chug last night and then crush the can on his head?
People said that he didn't get invited to New York for the Heisman and should have. That was his New York party last night. By the way, Gronk went to Arizona, not Arizona State. So, listen, you can't call him the next Gronk. Totally different situation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Totally different situation.
Wildly different.
ASU and U of A, totally different.
One's Harvard, one's Yale.
And I don't know. No, I mean, I don't think the lifestyles at Arizona and Arizona State are exactly the same as Harvard and Yale.
Okay.
There's less hot tubs at Harvard and Yale. Nobody's yelling "take it off" to the
at Yale. There's no take it off chance at Yale.
Yeah, the chant. Have you ever seen the movie Social Network, where they're yelling each other to code faster?
Yeah,
at
is that a
Harvard?
math term?
Yeah.
Least common denominator.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm assuming there were also some bare chests in the Dodgers clubhouse last night after closing out the Phillies 2-1 in 11 in Game 4 of their NLDS. The LA Runs came off a bases-loaded walk and a Philly throwing error in that last inning. Dave Roberts, the benefactor of Orion Kerkering's mistake.
It's one of those things that it's a PFP, a pitcher's fielding practice, and he's done it 1,000 times. And just right there, he was so focused, I'm sure, on just getting the hitter and just sort of forgot, the outs in the situation.
The bases were loaded. The play was to first, but after bobbling the ball, Kerkering came home with it. His throw was probably late, on target or not, but he missed catcher JT Realmuto altogether. And now the Dodgers wait on the Cubs or Brewers in the NLCS. Chicago forcing a final game in Milwaukee tomorrow night with a 6-0 win. North Carolina football has confirmed that assistant Armand Hawkins gave some players' families impermissible benefits. He remains suspended while the school investigates other possible violations. Connor Bedard scored last night, but Chicago lost in OT in Boston 4-3. And some sad news to share this morning. The wonderful Sister Jean of Loyola Chicago basketball fame has passed away at 106. It was last week or the week before we talked about her because she had stepped away from all of her on-campus duties for health reasons. I'm not sure we knew it was this close to the end, but 106 and will live forever in March Madness lore.
Yeah. No, I mean, she's just definitely a college basketball icon in a way.
They should name the court after her or something. Maybe not the court.
That'd
That's
be cool.
usually for coaches and stuff like that, but maybe name
No, I
something
think
after her.
That'd be fine. Villanova named their court after, remember way back in '85, they had a employee who was handicapped. Does anyone remember this?
No,
story?
I would assume it was named after Jay Wright at this point. Or
I
Rolly
will follow
Massimino.
up. I will actually have some facts on that story. I still want, by the way,
Kinda
Bogusch,
waded
you
into
should be
that
on
one.
this. Was this the first series that ever ended on a walk-off error?
No, it's the second is what I read this morning.
Then why did Jaxson Dart put out that it was the first?
Maybe he was wrong.
He's a
Jaxson
hack.
Dart is never wrong.
I'm surprised that he would be wrong, but the story on ESPN.com that I read this morning says the second one to end, literally the series to end on an error.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was the 2016
ALDS between Toronto and Texas, and Cap actually put it in our chat.
Yeah.
It's a throw home that's off target. It's not like such a wild error. Like last night's, this one was just like an off course throw, but last night was embarrassing for a couple reasons. One, manager admits that guy might not have known how many outs there were, so that's embarrassing. And also, he should have gone to first. The play was actually to home.
Yeah.
So.
Jaxson Dart followed up.
My
He said
bad.
this fact didn't show up in the original stat head because it wasn't a straight error. Thanks to stats for adding extra perspective.
Yeah, like they went to replay review on it back in 2016.
And it was a double play ball.
Yeah, I
too.
think it was a bad throw to first that allowed someone to
that's the
score
error.
from third.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now
Yes.
I'm seeing
on
it.
a double play. So they gotten one out on the play.
Right.
I thought they were talking about the throw home was off target because it was a little bit, but you're right. Nope, it was the double play.
It's
Pardon me.
the throw to first that's the error. So it's like there's like one extra layer to the error, I guess, that ends the series. But yeah, so there's the second time.
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
But seriously, why weren't JT Realmuto is pointing at first base?
Yeah.
He's got to be screaming that.
Yeah, but what happened was the ball got booted.
No, I know.
So for the pitcher, his
guy's head was
his
down.
head is down.
Yeah.
I don't think he even saw.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got to be screaming. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, not just pointing. He's got to be yelling
Yeah.
it so the guy can hear it, and like maybe it cuts through all the noise and his franticness.
There's 40,000 people.
I know, but
Chavez Ravine.
that's why you got to yell.
But yeah, Realmuto could do no wrong. He's the only guy who showed up for the whole team in this series. He was awesome. That throw was so funny, by the way.
I know, it's like arm malfunction.
It was totally Nuke Lelouch.
His arm knew it wasn't the right throw. I was like, we shouldn't be doing this.
I
It's
love
like
it.
stop midway through.
His brain's like, no.
When there's like a bunt or a little grounder to first, the pitcher has so much trouble throwing to first base, and they're professional throwers. You know, they just want to uncork it. It just cracks me up. Unfortunately, that was a bad way to lose. The Phillies were not winning this series. They weren't even
I don't know,
close.
man. The
They
path was
didn't
there.
even get close in that game. They did not leave. In earlier games, they left a lot of runners on base. This game, the Dodgers were leaving runners on base. I did not think it was close.
1-1 and in the 11th. That
Yeah,
by
I know,
definition, you
but-
have chances to win.
But Schwarber and Harper, what happened?
Bohm thought he hit that ball out, the one that went to the track and center.
Depressing.
You'll be
Terrible way to lose.
Next season.
Can't sugarcoat that.
No, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to win the division and go out in the first round with cold bats. Eagles are done. Phillies are done forever. Sixers are terrible. The Flyers can't win.
Penn State lost.
Well, that, I mean,
Can't not mention that.
Given. How's Big Five basketball? How did the Temple Owls look?
I was going to say, Perloff, your wife is laid up now. She had some surgery. She's on crutches. Like everything is just, you're due for a bounce back.
Yeah, I need a new team.
No, that's not how this works.
No, what you need is...
Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! Take it
That'll make you feel better.
But will we feel any better?
I'll feel wonderful.
We'll feel worse. Coming up, thank you, Bugs. We have an important update for you for the Maggie and Perloff show. You don't want to miss it. We're back in moments, M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Now Bailey rode into town with suspicion in his eyes, saying Kaplan's got a secret and he's hiding it inside. Zach Jobs lost in darkness, Ryan Stream's a mess, Shedeur Wolf's just a spinning wheel. Oh Lord, what a distress. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Now Peter Bellotti, well, he don't show, and that man's supposed to be running this show. If there's a tech problem, don't look at me. Ask the guy who's missing more than Tennessee team. So Davey, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make strings fly. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Now Peter Bellotti, well, he don't show, and that man's supposed to be running this show. If there's a tech problem, don't look at me. Ask the guy who's missing more than Tennessee team. So, Daddy, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make strings fly. Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Oh, don't play no games. Oh, babe, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make streams fly.
It's going to be a task for us because they're basically, more than half the offense. So they're first and foremost for sure.
Brown and Tatum, though, might be missing Marcus Smart this evening. He's questionable with a right.
Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. Okay, we have to update an important story for you in just one moment. But Pearl, did you see the dust-up between Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly? Maybe dust-up is too strong, but the back and forth between the Raiders head coach and the Raiders offensive coordinator.
I saw Pete Carroll kind of criticize his OC.
Yeah,
I didn't see Chip Kelly's response.
Yeah, so Pete Carroll criticized the game plan, basically said that, they want to be running the ball more, using more play action. They can't be relying so much on Geno Smith. And then Chip Kelly talked to reporters yesterday and said, yeah, that's what the game plan is every week. But clearly they found themselves down like 100-0 to the Colts last week. So running the ball doesn't do you a heck of a lot of good when you're down 40-6.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why you don't draft a running back at number 6 overall when you're not a solid roster, because you need to be ahead or at least even to run the ball. We all knew that coming in. And they don't have any wide receiver weapons. Geno's not getting protected right, and Geno's been sloppy. I kind of agree with Chip. Like, what's he supposed to do? Although, generally, I was not a huge fan of the hire coming off Ohio State. To me, Chip Kelly used to be this risk taker, but he seems oddly kind of conservative here, even though he is passing the ball. I just don't see the magic with Chip Kelly. I kind of get why Pete Carroll is frustrated.
Well, here's my question. I've got a question, and then I've got an opinion. My question is then, who put them together? Like, did Pete Carroll not hire his coaches? Like, what happened here? Was it John Spytek as the general manager? We know Tom Brady is involved. We know broadcaster Jim Gray is very heavily involved, as Amy Trask, the former CEO of the Raiders, has told us that. So, if Pete Carroll is upset with the game plan on offense, first of all, why isn't that happening behind closed doors? And secondly, did Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly, are they just an arranged marriage, or did Carroll actually want Chip Kelly to be his offensive coordinator?
So when you think about their history, obviously Chip Kelly was a big rival with Pete Carroll when one was, I think they were passed as dominant teams. So I imagine that Pete Carroll hired him and then respected him from the college game.
Okay, well then my second thing about this is an opinion, which is this is going to be a one and done situation. And we were talking about kind of the two older coaches.
Which coach?
Both.
Yep.
We were talking about the two older coaches who are, amazing coaches who both got hired in this cycle. Pete Carroll for the Raiders and Bill Belichick for North Carolina. It's gone so off the rails in North Carolina. He may not even finish the season. We'll see about that. But for Pete Carroll, I think this is also a little maybe a little quieter, but it's also gone pretty bad. I mean, to be kind of publicly taking a shot, at least it can be construed that way, at your own offensive coordinator, and we're just on the eve and the cusp of week 6. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not a great and ideal situation. So I think for the Raiders, where I thought this was going to bring a little stability, I feel like Pete Carroll is doing something that I would expect a rookie head coach to do.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, if they win this week, they got the Titans. They're 2-4. They've had 4 straight losing seasons, right? They're basically the same roster as last year with Geno Smith and Ashton Jeanty. They just don't have a talented roster because of the years of neglect from John Gruden and Mike Mayock. I think a lot of it was Gruden, to be honest. In drafting, you just don't have the players. So I knew that coming in. Why we got high on the Raiders just because of Pete Carroll made no sense. How do they have the roster to do anything?
Well, we thought that Pete Carroll could be a breath of fresh air at 73 years old and someone who could find a way to maximize the talent that they do have. And clearly, Pearl, they thought they were better than they are because Pete Carroll said, we thought we were going to win games out of the chute. And he said, and they took Ashton Jeanty with the 6th overall pick. So clearly they thought they were only a piece away.
I mean,
that's delusional.
Ask
but
a casual NFL fan to name their receivers.
Yeah.
I know they have, and by the way, Brock Bowers hasn't been there. Though.
Yeah,
That's
been hurt.
Big deal. And they have Jacoby Myers as their receiver number 1. I mean, come on. They just don't have talent. And that O-line always used to get good grades from PFF. I never totally understood that because it always seems like their quarterback is in trouble.
I believe Chip Kelly is the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Really?
I think so. Double check me on that, Connor, please. Meanwhile, let's update.
Higher than Cliff Kingsbury? I mean, I believe you because he's a new hire, but that is insane.
Let's update you on something from yesterday, the Maggie Perloff King of the Mountain project, which is our attempt to find the greatest NFL team of all time. And how it goes is we have one team that's the King of the Mountain, and then they go up against a new team every week. And you guys decide by voting on a poll. So the 1984 San Francisco 49ers, Pearl, came into this week as the 3-time defending King of the Mountain. Took out the 72 undefeated Dolphins. Took out the 83 then LA Raiders, and took out the 1977 Dallas Cowboys. Well, strike up the band because the 84 49ers are still your King of the Mountain. They have taken out now the latest victim, the 1999 St. Louis Rams, and this one wasn't even close. Final score, 49ers got 70% of the vote to the Rams 30%.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's this perception that you kind of got me a little confused on yesterday that the Rams were an all-offense team, and their defense was nothing special. I think that's why people vote for the Niners, because that particular Niners team was balanced. They had a great defense and a great offense, but the numbers actually showed that the Rams' defense was pretty good. Then we had Kevin Carter on from that defense. He had 17 sacks that year.
Yep.
So maybe that shouldn't have been as lopsided. My original thought was, the Rams were high-flying, greatest show on turf, but the Niners were a complete team. Probably there's some truth to that. And it's funny. Is there some stigma around Kurt Warner? It's like, they had a guy from a grocery store who was their quarterback. The other team had Joe Montana.
I mean, Warner ended up being a Hall of Famer and won the MVP that year. But you know what I think it is? This Rams team was the first ever to go from worst to first, like worst in their division, and winning the Super Bowl. So I think maybe people look back and think it's fluky or they got lucky or something, because they were dreadful the year before, but then they sustained that success for seasons afterwards.
But they didn't get another win.
They did not.
So that's really what cost them. If they had beaten the Patriots 2 years later, then maybe this is a different conversation, because you can pick out an individual year, but in this King of the Hill thing, people are also looking at eras, 84 Niners. You don't remember which Niners team that was, but they were darn good.
Yep. So there you go. The 84 49ers remain king of the mountain. Are you surprised now they've stayed up there for
Not at
4
all.
straight weeks?
I mean, NFL Network lists them third best team of all time. By the way, Bill Walsh, for you Belichick fans, his last 2 seasons, and I said this yesterday, were 3-7 and 4-7. 4-7 and 3-7 at Stanford. And nobody remembers that. Just keep that in mind for your Bill Belichick legacy, Maggie.
Was he dating a 24-year-old?
Maybe. And the Pete Carroll legacy, too. You can have a bad last year.
888-710-4ISN, number to call to get involved with the show. Coming up next, let's win some money.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining.
Don't Start Now. That's the song you were trying to sing. I like doing it.
Too.
Here comes the drop. Here it comes.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now.
One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Hurts back, throws left, pass intercepted along the right sideline. Racing up the sideline for the Giants is Cordell Flott. He's to the 40, 30, and knocked out of bounds at the Philadelphia 22. Hurts picked off for the first time this year. Cordell Flott's his name.
It's a heck of a name. Cordell Flott. Thank you to Giants Radio for that. That was Jalen Hurts' first interception of the season. Came at a terrible time because the Eagles were already trailing by 10 points in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they were driving, and you thought maybe they'd get back into this game, Pearl, your Philadelphia Eagles, but that...
I didn't think they were getting back in.
Oh, you did not? Okay.
No, because they...
A casual observer may have thought they'd get back into the game because they were near the goal line, but it didn't happen, and it started, or the nail in the coffin really started with that pick by Flott.
Yeah, they could not stop the Giants' running game. Like, even if they had scored there, the Giants had no problem getting first down. I can't believe Jaxson Dart was that poised on third down. Dude's a rookie out of Ole Miss. Thought he was a Lane Kiffin system guy. So much for that. But also, too, the Eagles have some major problems. Keely Ringo out on an island. He's a Georgia football player. They're supposed to be good, Maggie. He's terrible.
Well, and got a defensive pass interference call in the end zone, which set the Giants up for, I believe, Cam Scadaboo's third touchdown of the game.
Adoree Jackson was a Giant too, right?
Yeah, he was.
So they know how bad that dude is. And they had to get him back on the field after a minor injury. I can't believe it was just a depressing day. The Phillies lost and Jalen Carter went out early. When Jalen Carter was announced out of the game, that was not good.
No, it's curtains when he's not there because Jaxson Dart can run with abandon, which he does. And also Cam Scadaboo was able to run all over, and the Giants were awesome. 11 of 16 third downs that they converted, as opposed to the Eagles went 1 for 9 on third down, and the Eagles had the 2 turnovers. Add insult to injury, the Phillies got eliminated last night on a walk-off error by a Philadelphia pitcher. Just a horrible way to lose. And that brings us to our guest, Nick Kostos, the host of You Better You Bet, noted Giants fan and noted Philadelphia hater. Good morning, Nick. Perloff's just walked out of the studio.
I have to be honest. It's good to be on with you guys. I don't even really think I'm a Philadelphia hater. Like I take jabs at Philly sports fans because they take jabs at New York sports fans. I'm 42 years old. I can honestly say I don't hate any team from Philadelphia. What happened last night is kind of funny as a New York sports fan, and that's it. And I think he's being a baby.
Nick just said you're being a baby. He's got no headphones in.
Like,
Perloff is coming back in the studio.
All of my teams get their asses kicked all the time. And I come on my show, I do a million radio interviews like this one, and I face the music from everybody. Perloff has one bad night and has to go run and hide. Give me a break, buddy.
You forgot about Monday, which was equally as bad for Philadelphia fans because that was the Eagles' first loss of the season to the Broncos. The Phillies were down at home, and Penn State had lost.
Oh, no.
Wait, Nick,
Penn State in the college football playoff semifinal this calendar year. The Eagles won the Super Bowl this calendar year, and I'm supposed to pull out a small violin for you and play it, buddy? Like, get over yourself, man.
Nick, you're a Yankees fan, right?
You know I am.
So you don't really know what it's like because your team's not alive still, but to lose a baseball game and a football game on the same night is devastating.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be devastating. I'm saying that it's lame that you're like, oh, I don't want to face the music here.
You know, we're all friends here. Can I tell you who's been making it a little worse? Maggie Gray.
What did I do?
She said lots of nice things about Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterboot. Like this wasn't a one-off. There's an energy in this. We're in New York, in this city, that this is a real deal, and I can't go there yet. I mean, this is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you bet on the Giants, but I'm betting against them next week.
Oh, well, next week they're on the road in Denver. I'll say the thing that I'm curious to see next week, so the Broncos, and I don't want to make this too much about Denver, but they have had unbelievable health on the offensive line from last year into this year. Like, I've not had an offensive line, and they have a really good offensive line. So Ben Powers, who's one of their starting guards, is out for a while now. I'm curious if that's going to impact things at all next weekend with the Giants pass rush because, you know, the reason why I like the Giants in the game, I did not think the Giants were going to score 34 points. Like, who did? The Giants against the Saints had 0 sacks, but had the highest pressure rate of any one team in week 5. And all of the pressures were coming up through the interior because the Saints guards aren't very good. And with the Eagles, with Dickerson out and Tyler Steen obviously is not great replacing Mekhi Becton for the entire season, I kind of felt like that was the pressure point that the Giants could get at. So I'm curious to see how the Jets do against Denver's interior offensive line this weekend. There could be a potential path forward here for the Giants to keep that game close. But look, you know, I don't want to be prisoner of the moment and declare that the Giants are going to be a playoff team. Like, the team is still not very good.
Hey,
you know,
Dick.
the front of the defense is good, but I don't think like the back end is very good. Despite, I mean, the flawed interception. I mean, Jalen Hurts basically gift wrapped it. He's alone in the pocket. He throws off his back foot. He's staring the receiver down. That is a bad play by Hurts more than a good play by Flott. And look, like the offensive line was pretty good last night. I'd like to see them do it again. I'm not that confident. They have no wide receivers, even with Darius Slayton. And if the other thing is, if Brian Dable keeps calling plays for Jaxson Dart like this, and Dart keeps running with reckless abandon, he is going to get hurt, whether that's a concussion or something else. And I thought it was outrageous, and I'm not really that outraged about it, mostly because they got away with it, where Dart goes into the blue tent, and that whole scene was an event unto itself, right? And he comes out, and he's not concussed. And immediately Dable starts calling, like, multiple design runs for him. It's like, guy, like, do you want your quarterback to get concussed here? Like, he is going to get hurt. That's a spoiler, not a prediction, if they keep running him like this.
Nick, I actually want to start off a Sunday with a win here. So I want to get the London game right. Why? Maggie and I were talking earlier. It feels like 6.5 points is kind of modest, Denver over the Jets. Because Denver's a much, I don't know if it's still at 6.5.
Now it's at 7.5.
Oh, okay.
It's moved.
But I feel like Denver should, like the way the Jets have been playing, should win this game quite easily. But are London games just a different vibe altogether from what we've seen before?
I would never bet the Jets. It doesn't mean the Jets can't cover or win. But if I were forced to bet the game, I would bet Denver. The Jets' offense obviously has issues, most notably that the quarterback has difficulty completing the forward pass. But for as bad as the offense is, the defense is actually way worse than the offense. And I think this is a game where Sean Payton is licking his lips, probably looking at this Jets defense and thinking what he can probably do to scheme it up against a defense that not only can't tackle, doesn't seem interested in tackling. Like it's a bad look right now and they can turn it around. He can turn it around, but it's a bad look for right now. So I'm not going to say it's like one of my favorite bets or predictions or anything like that, but I would never bet the Jets on Sunday.
Nick Kostos joining us from You Better You Bet. A happy Nick Kostos after his Giants beat the Eagles last night. Nick, I'm curious, a number that jumps out always when spreads are this big in the NFL is obviously the Packers, a 14-point favorite over now Joe Flacco coming in for the Cincinnati Bengals to be their quarterback. Is 14, let's talk about this game specifically, but then is 14 a spot where you automatically take the points, or does it depend on the matchup, and how would you bet this game?
No, totally. I think it totally depends on the matchup.
Okay.
So here's what I can say. Like I think 14 is a fine number in the game. So like I make my point spreads. Not that I'm like, if me making my point spreads was that great, like I wouldn't be doing this interview. Like, on an island, so I'd win,
Not
I'd
out
win
of the
all my
kindness
bets.
of your heart from your yacht somewhere in Santorini?
No, it's you'd never hear from me. I'm longing for not for you guys specifically, for everybody. I think the point spread's fine. I made it 14.5 with Browning. You want to say it's a slight upgrade for a half-point upgrade, going from the worst quarterback to a guy who got benched for Dylan Gabriel, starting a game for a team that he's been there for 3 days. I think that's probably about right. So I think 14 is fine. Subjectively, I think the Packers are going to win 31-7. The problem with the Bengals, I didn't think they were making the playoffs with Joe Burrow. So I certainly don't think they're going to be in contention with Flacco. The offensive line is horrendous. It's really, really bad. And the defense is horrendous. It's really, really bad. So here's Micah Parsons and the Green Bay rejuvenated pass rush up against a gargoyle quarterback, a statue who can't move, and they have a bad defense on the other side. Now, like, could they backdoor the game? Of course. You know, it's a huge point spread. If you made me bet the game, I would only bet the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, they backdoored last week, right? That was the one bet I won. How about the Chiefs now laying 2.5 Lions? What can you tell us about Detroit's health, Nick?
Yeah, so Detroit's secondary is an absolute tatters right now. Their top 2 corners are going to miss the game. DJ Reed's on IR. Terry and Arnold is not going to be out for the season, but he's going to miss some time, and he will miss Sunday night's game. The Lions secondary is not healthy, and I think that's going to be really bad news going up against what I think is going to be an electric passing game moving forward for the Chiefs. Now, one thing gives me a little bit of pause here, and that is Xavier Worthy, Kansas City's best receiver, until next week when Rashee Rice is back off suspension. Did not practice yesterday with a couple different injuries. Now, he did practice Wednesday. My sense is that's like a rest day for him. But, you know, if he doesn't practice today, that makes me feel worse about this bet. So we have to monitor that. He's Kansas City's best offensive player, not named Patrick Mahomes, until Rashee Rice comes back. So that does matter. But assuming Xavier Worthy is good to go, I love the Chiefs, and I do think this is a high-scoring game. So if I had to bet the total, I'd bet the over. Kansas City's my favorite bet of the week to win the game as long as Xavier Worthy plays.
Nick Kostos with us from You Better You Bet. Nick, I have one more NFL question for you before we turn over to college football. Do you trust Seattle enough yet to go across the country and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars? Where are you with Seattle? They're a slight favorite in this game.
So I just want to make sure that because there's a lot going on here in this game injury wise. So I'm bringing up the Seahawks injury report from yesterday. Okay. So here, Julian Love is out, and Devin Witherspoon also out of practice. Neither practiced on Wednesday either. So, you know, like not great going up against Brian Thomas Jr. if you're going to be missing 2 really good members of your secondary. Oh, I don't think I'll have a bet on this game. If I had to bet it, I think I'd probably bet Seattle, only because I trust the Seahawks more as a complete team. And I do think, and I'm someone that loved the Jaguars coming into the year, I have them to make the playoffs. I have them to win the AFC South. This does feel like a little voodoo black magic-y that the Jaguars are 4-1. And I think the Seahawks, despite having a worse record, are probably, and like the betting market indicates that, right? Jacksonville's -1 at home. It's basically saying these two teams are even on home field, or like Seattle might be a little better. And I just agree with that. So Seahawks, if I had to bet it, I don't think I will, but I will give you guys one prop thought, and I'm just going on BetMGM now to see what the number is. All right. So Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle's #1 wide receiver. I think we need to start talking about JSN in the same breath that we talk about like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, best receivers in the league. And Puka Nacua. He's unbelievable. His receiving yards prop in this game is 76.5. Now, you will see sometimes like Jamar Chase's number be in the 70s, like with Jake Browning at quarterback. Like where Justin Jefferson be in the 70s with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. Like this is a spot where Sam Darnold's playing really well, and JSN's number is 76.5. The first digit needs to be an 8 or a 9. I love JSN's over this weekend.
Love it. All right, turn to college. Red River rivalry. Oklahoma, Texas. So the spread obviously was affected by John Mateer, right? I know that a lot of people early in the week, Texas was favored. What's happening now, and what do you expect to happen before game time on Saturday?
So it looks like right now, it looks like Mateer is going to play. That was the last update that we got, that he's probable to play in the game. There's a guy named Colin Wilson who comes on my show, You Better You Bet, every Friday. He works for the Action Network and hosts a pretty popular college football betting podcast. He makes his own power ratings in college football. And again, like not that any that this is gospel, but I respect him a lot. And I asked him earlier this week, what do you make the game if Mateer plays? And he said Oklahoma -1. So at BetMGM right now, the number is Oklahoma -1. So I feel like this number is leaning towards John Mateer playing in the game, and maybe it still has room to go up a little bit once Mateer is announced. And honestly, like that's probably going to happen. If Mateer is ruled in, you would think people will want to bet Oklahoma. I don't think it ever goes up to 3, but I think maybe we get a little more support and interest in the Sooners. I can only bet Texas in this game. First off, the stock couldn't possibly be lower in ArchManning in Texas. And it's a pretty tired betting cliche, but it can ring true in spots like this. This is like the ultimate like buy low spot on ArchManning in Texas. And I know Oklahoma's defense is really good, but I mean, this is like bottom barrel expectations right now for the Longhorns. And the other thing is, and you know, I can't wait to see how I'm wrong about this if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Saturday, so today is 16 days. Tomorrow will be 17. Since John Mateer had surgery on his throwing hands.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And he's going to play against Texas tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, like, they're going to win this game? Maybe. Like, it could happen. I'll pay to see it. Not one of my favorite bets on Saturday in college football, but I'll be on Texas.
Nick Kostos with us. I'd like your favorite bet. Does it have something to do with the top 10 matchup between Indiana and Oregon, where Oregon's a 7-point favorite?
So I'll just quickly, I'll give you my favorite bet in college football.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I do have a bet in that game, and I just want to see if this number's moved. I'm on the BetMGM screen. It is not yet. Okay, great. Texas Tech laying 14 against Kansas. Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12, and I don't think the betting market has caught up to it yet. We have a college football guest come on my show, Joey Knish, who works for a betting network called The Hammer. His real name's not Joey Knish.
I was going to say, that's an all-time name if it's Joey Knish.
Yeah, it's not his actual name. But he's great. I really respect him with college football. He thinks that the betting market, and I agree, is not caught up to how much better Texas Tech is than the other teams in the Big 12. Kansas dealing with injuries at the skill positions on offense. I actually do think that this number is going to go up to 14.5 before kickoff. So if you like Texas Tech and you're out there watching or listening, I would actually bet this sooner rather than later. I do like the Red Raiders. Now, as far as Indiana and Oregon goes, I think I'm going to give you guys, this is a great sports radio answer to this question. This is less like, hey, I think there's value because the point spread is this. This is a sports radio answer I'm about to give you. So, are you guys into, like, mock drafts this time of year?
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, then, Perloff, if you look at mock drafts now from, like, any of, like, the reputable people that do this, not that they have to be perfect, but, people that you respect, all of them have, if not Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, and Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, if not going in the first round, at minimum.
Yeah.
They're going top 15 or top 10 or top 5, and one of them's going number 1 overall.
Yep.
At offshore betting markets right now, Fernando Mendoza is the favorite to be the first overall pick in next year's NFL draft. Now, like Spencer Rattler was the favorite at one point to be first overall. That doesn't mean he's going first, but just to give you an idea that these are NFL caliber quarterbacks that will be drafted probably early in April. So if that's true, and we have one top 10 pick at quarterback potentially against another, and I'm getting 7.5 points with one of them, I'll take it. So give me the Indiana Hoosiers plus the 7.5, and I'll bet that Mendoza's good enough to get us in through the number, what is a big number, even if Oregon wins the game.
Wow. Dante Moore, by the way, will still be 20 draft time. Kuiper says he's going back. Ohio State, Illinois.
He's going to go back?
20. It'd be one of the young.
He's gonna be like the second overall pick in the draft. He's gonna go back. Oh, that's
what the rumors coming out of. But then again, that always is a rumor in October, and then it changes. Okay, Ohio State, Illinois. I feel like we haven't seen Ohio State do anything. What's your take? They're favored by, I'm seeing 14.5. Is this Ohio State like the dominant team, and would you take them against Illinois?
Well, they are. Ohio State is doing something, and it's just winning every game that they play and looking like the best team in the country. They were my preseason pick to win the national championship. I had them last year in the playoff, which is like, I guess I am bragging a little bit. I don't win all my bets. That was a little braggadocious. I do think Ohio State's the best team. I don't necessarily want to lay this number on the road at Illinois. If it goes down to 14, maybe a little bit of a different conversation. I do not think Ohio State's on upset alert. Make me bet the game. I'll take Ohio State. I will likely not have any money on this game, but I do think Ohio State will win.
You have a future on Ohio State to win again?
To win the national championship. Correct.
Wow.
Damn, Nick. Okay, last one for you. Alabama,
from before
Mizzou.
the season.
Yeah, right. No, you're calling your shot. Alabama, Mizzou. What do you think about the spread is small? So I'm thinking if you like Mizzou, you would just bet the money line here at plus 136 is what I'm seeing, but also the total at 51.5.
I actually don't think I'm going to bet this game.
Okay.
But if I had to, I would lay Alabama. I think that Bama has I think the win against Vanderbilt last week kind of meant something, not just because Vanderbilt beat them last year, like not just for that reason, and they got to beat Pavia. To me, that was, and I can be wrong about this, which is why I'm not saying it with the utmost extreme confidence. It felt like to me that was Kalen DeBoer kind of saying, what happened last year was an outlier.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen again. Like, we're not going to follow up a monster win by losing to an inferior team. And you know what happened at the very end of the game, I don't think should be discounted. That, like they're going to win the game and they're not covering the number. And then here comes Jan Miller to just add insult to injury for Vandy bettors and cover the spread at the very end of the game. Not that I'm not suggesting like Kalen DeBoer is purposefully trying to cover the spread, but it kind of looked like that. I think this is him kind of like peacocking a little bit. I think he's feeling himself a little bit in Tuscaloosa. I think Bama's definitely the better team in this game. That's why they're a 3-point road favorite. Make me bet the game. I'll lay Alabama. Not one of my favorite bets coming up on Saturday.
Nick, real quick before we get you out of here, baseball bets, the 2-game fives. Anything about that? You got the AL tonight between the Tigers and the Mariners, and then you're going to have the NL tomorrow, Cubs Brewers.
So we have seen movements in the betting market towards the Mariners overnight. So Detroit was minus 140 yesterday with Tarek Skubal, who's probably the best pitcher in baseball.
Yep.
With Skubal on the mound, it is now minus 125 today. So there's been betting interest in the Mariners. Worth noting, in Game 2 in Seattle, the Mariners did beat Tarek Skubal on a couple home runs from Polanco. I don't have a strong opinion on the game. If you made me bet it, I would take Seattle. The betting opinion that I will give you is if Detroit wins, if the Tigers win, and they're favored.
Yeah.
So that's the most likely outcome. I think Toronto will wipe them off the face of the earth in the ALCS. Like, Detroit is a team, and honestly, I can't even believe that they might win this series against Seattle. They have like one legitimate starting pitcher in Skubal, and that plays in a 3-game series, maybe in a 5-game series. In a 7-game series, I don't think that's going to play. So if Detroit wins, I'm going to bet Toronto to win the American League. So that's kind of my betting thought. I have Seattle from before the series. I'm going to root for the Mariners. As far as the Cubs and Brewers go, I have a bet from before the series on Milwaukee. I will stick with that. But I think the Dodgers won the World Series last night. I certainly don't think the Cubs can beat the Dodgers. Maybe the Brewers could, but like very likely not. I think that the baseball season ended last night with Orion Kirkring throwing the ball behind the catcher, breaking Perloff's heart. I think the Dodgers will win the World Series this year.
Is wipe them off the face of the earth a betting term? I'm not sure.
That's just like a Nick
Bill
Kostos,
James,
like I talk for a living.
Yeah.
I think Bill James invented that one. It's actually
Dude, true
sabermetrics.
My dad used to read Bill James like when I was a kid. I remember reading the 1990 Bill James Almanac, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think, used to have an outfielder named Von Hayes, V-O-N Hayes. I remember thinking, like, that can't actually be his name.
Like he was a Philadelphia Philly, too, Nick.
He was a Philly. And
Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, is this a made-up name? Like, no one's first name is Von. I'm like 7 years old. I don't know why I remember that, but there you go.
In the show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the first episode, one of the characters says, if you don't know Von Hayes' name, I don't want to be friends with you.
Oh, absolutely.
In Philadelphia,
I
Von
absolutely
Hayes
love
could
that.
have a statue. He's giant figure.
No, you can't
And
have a
I'm
statue
pretty-
in Philly because he's actually a real person.
Oh, true.
That's true. I'm pretty sure that he had a section in that no one cares about Scott Sanderson, who was pitching for the Yankees at the time. And I remember being like, oh, maybe Scott Sanderson will be good. And he wasn't.
People wonder why we are the way we are. And we just got a glimpse into that from Nick Kostos. That's really cool. Nick, thank you so much. Thank you for the betting advice. And we will catch up with you next week.
And Perloff, listen, buddy. Like when you put your head hits the pillow tonight in your Phillies race car bed, everything's going to be okay, my friend. Don't worry about it. Wishing everybody minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck. Also, piss off, go Giants.
You know, those cool Philadelphia powder blue, that would be cool bed sheets. The powder blue with the red. It's pretty sweet.
I just hope he's wrong. I hope the World Series was won last night because what Nick's implying is the Phillies could have won it if they had gotten through that series. That hurts. But I don't think they were going to. I mean, I think the Dodgers had the Phillies number. So I'm going to hit the bed just fine tonight. We lost to the better team.
I don't know, man. You got to feel sick about that. I'm not buying it. 888-710-4ISN. Got an update for you on one of the biggest athletes on planet Earth. You got to hear it. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, it's all there. eBay, things people love. You know who has some time to shop around on eBay? Our guy, LeBron James.
Tough moment for LeBron. The first time in his 23-year career, Pearl, that he's going to miss an opener. And he's got sciatica. Yeah. I know it's better that he's there at the end of the season than the beginning. I'll grant you that. But he has sciatica, super painful, really tough to navigate that, even for a professional athlete. I think he's expected to miss about 5 games and not play any of the preseason, obviously. But here's my thing about LeBron. Part of his lore now is his ability to defeat Father Time. Yeah. And, it's not like he's never been injured before. We usually find out about LeBron's injuries after the fact.
Well, he takes that little vacation, and about 60 games in, he misses 10 games every year.
Yeah, something like that. But, we find out, after you shot, 3 for 14, like, my shoulder's actually been hurting. Right. LeBron loves that. But, this could actually maybe be the beginning of like an injury-plagued season. You can't put it past him, Pearl. He's 40.
I kind of wonder if he just wants to take an extended summer vacation.
You think he's faking sciatica?
Yes.
Come
I think
on.
he's old. He has back injuries all the time. But I do think that he's like, you know what? I need to limit my number of games this year. I'll bet you he's being conservative on his health. Because I don't think, he hasn't played a full season since 18 well, there was a strike season, but he hasn't really played a full season forever.
The COVID season.
Yeah. Sorry, the COVID season, the shortened season. So I do think that he is going to have to get some time down during the season. Might as well do it early. Sciatica, the question is it going to be there all year?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder, are we at the stage where LeBron is kind of, I'm not going to say, I don't mean this to come off disrespectful, because he's been so awesome even later into his 30s and now 40. But are we at the point where this is more like a farewell kind of thing with LeBron, or is he going to be counted on to be a legitimate contributor to a team that's hoping to be, at the very least, a playoff team?
LeBron James. I think they'll get to the playoffs, but I expect exactly like last year, where they get to the playoffs and just lose in the first round unless Luka can really get the team that he needs around him. It's Luka's team.
How about Luka, best shape of his life? Skinny Luka.
I don't know if that's all good. Like Luka is so much stronger than everyone he covers, or who's covering him usually. Like, is Luka's game automatically benefiting from being skinny? I think there's give and take there.
Out of shape Luka is what you want?
Well, I mean, the guy, how many pounds did he lose?
20 something?
Yeah, I mean, the magic power of Luka is you can't get around his body to affect his dribble. I'm not 1,000% sure skinny Luka is better than fat Luka.
No, but he's like sucking wind in some of these playoff games.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I wonder if he's going to be as strong as he was last year. I'm being serious. Like I'd rather cover a skinny guy any day of the week than a big guy. Luka, he overpowers everyone. He goes in the lane and pushes guards around like they're little children. So
I think really what skinny Luka represents is committed to your body, Luka. There are always questions about
stay out. So you're
the
talking
beer,
about
the
endurance.
hookah. You know what I'm talking about. Like there's an idea that it's almost. I think it's going to help him, and it's almost symbolic, like a dialed in. Dallas didn't want me because they didn't think that my body was going to hold up. I'll show you, Luka.
But NBA basketball it's closer to NFL football than I think people realize. When you're down on the court, they're just running into each other full speed again and again and again. I just say, like, skinny Luka is not going to turn him into 2010 LeBron James. I'm curious. Do you think that they're a contender? Because if skinny Luka is an MVP type, then you would put them in the contender category.
I think they're fringe. But you have the wrong league that's most like the NFL. It's not the NBA, it's the WNBA.
Yeah.
Those chicks will decapitate each other. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest and greatest. What's up?
Guys, we now know the Eagles' offensive struggles are real. They couldn't even score points on the Giants on Thursday Night Football. Philly didn't score after halftime at all in this 34-17 loss. They turned the ball over twice in the fourth quarter, and Saquon Barkley only ran for 58 yards. He was asked post-game if finger-pointing might start soon in their locker room.
I don't think that's happening, but like I said, just take accountability. Look in the mirror, and it's perfect for these 4 days, a little mini break.
The Birds play in Minnesota next Sunday. The Giants, of course, feeling much better after this rare win over their rivals. Jaxson Dart throwing and running for a touchdown.
I understand that, like, the most important thing for everybody is winning. And, as competitors, that's how we feel too. And I feel like this city is starving for that. And, we are starving for that. We hate losing. It's the worst feeling in the world.
He also protected the football after being part of their 5 giveaway collapse in New Orleans over the weekend. But Dart did take a big hit last night, leading to a quick trip to the medical tent, leading to an animated Brian Dable. The coach caught yelling at a doctor on the sideline.
You want your guy out there, not at risk of anything else, but he came out, and I think he's going to be good. I'm like, is he going to be good or not? I'm going to call a timeout on 4th down and go for this son. You know what I mean? So I love our doctors.
Tough talk the doctor.
Yeah.
It's like, my job's on the line, man. I don't care about his brain.
He also ducked into the tent, which is a no-no. Dable did say that he apologized to the medical staff after the game.
Sorry, nerds.
I saw the whole thing as an indictment of Russell Wilson, who got in for one play. And the one thing about his play, did you watch that play? So he dirted a ball about 10 yards in front of the receiver. It must have been a good 4 seconds after the play clock expired. I don't know why I think half the Giants quit. They're like, well, I just saw it. Like, that play was so disjointed. It was bizarre. They were coming off a timeout, and they missed the play clock, and the officials were struggling a little bit last night.
Yeah. They lost twice in Milwaukee. Now they've won twice at Wrigley. Cubs 6, Brewers nothing last night. Manager Craig Counsell saying the Wrigley faithful at their best.
The crowd was incredible tonight. I mean, I've never seen a baseball game like that. That was just amazing what they did tonight.
The crowd was taunting Freddie Peralta from his very first pitch, which maybe led to Ian Happ's 3-run homer in the bottom of the first inning. The winner tomorrow night in Milwaukee deals with the Dodgers in the NLCS. LA left standing after 2-1 over the Phillies in their Game 4 yesterday. That deciding run, as we've been discussing, scoring on a throwing error from Phillies pitcher Orion Kerkering. Now, the Philly offseason requires a decision on pending free agent Kyle Schwarber.
You just make so many personal relationships with guys, and you spend how much time with these guys, throughout the course of a year, and they become family, and you just never know how it's going to go, but these guys all know how I feel about them.
Schwarber and his 50s.
He's been on 4 teams.
Yeah.
He sounded choked up like this is the only place I've ever known. It's like, no, you played for the Cubs, you played for the Nationals, you played for the Red Sox.
It's a close team, the Phillies. Those guys definitely seem like friends. I have a pitch to Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Hopefully it's not a curve because he can't hit that.
Wow.
Sorry.
Good
You
luck.
set me up.
Wow.
Do you see that ballpark? You think you're fitting 56 home runs anywhere else? That is...
Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees literally, like, the MLB should nix that trade. If they sign another old slugger to that team who can't field, that would be insane.
What do you mean? I mean, he can hit home runs. Yankees can't buy a run in the postseason, and it's a small park. Lefty.
Didn't we just all spend all day yesterday saying how the Yankees got to
5
stop?
DHs? Quit A-Rod?
Yeah. You can't make A-Rod right and sign another. Don't make A-Rod right about the Yankees. No, it would be such a cliche. Like, they can't field. They can't run the bases. They can't do anything. They need a player.
How many people are going to be able to afford Kyle Schwarber? Like, what do you think he's going to sign for? Not probably a long deal, but certainly something pretty substantial.
Well, yeah, but I don't think the Yankees.
Maybe not.
They can't possibly do that. It'd be such a cliche.
No, they're going to get Pete Alonso.
Who are?
Don't
The
say
Yankees.
that.
The Yankees?
I'm sorry. It's not about the Yankees. I'm just saying this is Schwarber is a shiny object that the Yankees would like. So is Pete Alonso.
Yeah. I mean, that would be just hysterical. So they would have Stanton, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Judge.
No, they might not have Bellinger.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But it's just an incredible lineup of older, bloated.
Yeah, I think Goldschmidt's out too. I think.
Yeah, but regardless, Schwarber is not going to have a 56 home run season again. I'll tell you that right now. I don't want the Phillies to break the bank for him.
So it's weird because he's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
but he's only 32.
No.
Yeah, I was surprised too. He's not that old.
He's played 12 years in the majors already.
Right.
Get out of here.
He's got mileage, but he's not old.
God, that Cubs team that won the World Series was young.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else is even still playing from that team of the young guys. Is Chris Bryant?
He's technically still
just hurt.
playing. Yes.
Okay. Because Anthony Rizzo's long retired.
Javi Baez, yeah.
Baez is at the end.
But
I
still
think.
playing.
Yeah.
He was an all-star this year.
No, I know. You actually did bounce back with a really big year.
I apologize for
Playing
not
tonight.
mentioning this any sooner. There is NBA preseason basketball right now.
Where?
The Nets
What time zone?
The Nets and Suns are playing in Macau, which is
Where?
Macau. They're China.
Oh,
they're 12 hours ahead of us, so it's 9:40 at night there. And the Nets have a 72-67 lead on those Suns early third quarter. Nets hit their first 10 shots in this game. Still living
Maybe
off
they
of that.
could do the whole season in Macau. Maybe they would actually have a shot to not be embarrassing.
We're good with geography on this show. Somebody shared the flight plan for the Nets for this trip, and you would think it's mostly east-west kind of route from here to Macau. Like one way or the other, you're going like almost straight across, right?
Like the equator? You mean?
Yeah, like you're going basically like across the U.S., across the Pacific, and then at some point, you're in Asia, you're in China.
Is that the way you go, though, if you're leaving from the East Coast?
They went up and over.
Yeah, up and over.
Like the Arctic Circle.
Antarctica, yeah.
No, it blew my mind.
No, I think that's right.
So you think does a commuter flight go up over Canada like that?
I think so, because
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's a given. If you're, forgive me, because I have traveled to Thailand once for my honeymoon, but we didn't go the Pacific. We left from New York and went, I think,
went
over.
east? You went over the Atlantic through Europe and down?
You know, this is something I should probably ask my husband about. Not
Yeah.
to lean into stereotypical gender roles, but I don't know what way we went.
And if it made me go find like a baseball and like look at it. And if you are going it does make sense to go up and over to the other side of a baseball than going around the rounded surface of the baseball.
No doubt.
But I just never crossed my mind that you wouldn't go basically east or west from here to Asia.
Not to
That
sound
you
like
go
Mad
north.
Dog Russo, but is that a direct flight?
It was for the Nets.
I wasn't sure if you'd need a layover.
Which is what I thought. I thought you flew to like the West Coast and then finished it from there.
I think you can, yeah.
You guys know we're on air, right?
You're the one who likes to talk about weather and traffic
I
on the
know.
ones. This is good stuff here.
Yeah, I know. There's some show I watched where they were talking about going over the Arctic and some
deadliest catch.
No,
not
it was a
Nets basketball.
It was a billionaire who was telling his private jet guy how to go, and it caused all sorts of problems. And I can't remember. I think it might have
Steve
been
Ballmer?
Billion. It might have been the show Billions. I can't remember.
Oh.
It was pretty cool. But
before I leave you, I've got a new addition to Maggie's list. There's a drought.
Slugbusters?
You can, yes, if they're calling
what do
for
you got?
you in Columbus because the Blue Jackets have now lost 10 consecutive games in Nashville. It's a very specific drought.
Okay.
It's about 6 years old. They lost their last night 2-1. They're asking for your help, Queen.
How about get a little credit for last night? The last time that the Giants hung this many points on the Philadelphia Eagles was 2012.
You want that?
2012.
Well,
I thought you were going to say much
1912.
older.
If we're doing specific things like Columbus in Nashville.
Well, the Giants broke a 8-game losing streak that Bogusch shared yesterday to the division. That's probably a little better than.
There's so much proof how bad they are. They don't win in prime time. They don't beat division teams.
I mean,
they don't score
basically,
points.
if that's a slump buster, you could say if a team gets super cold and loses 12 straight games and then they win their 13th, they just broke the slump.
Bring Maggie in. Yep.
This is why our merch
That's
is
like
gonna
creating
kill.
a slump in real time, though.
Yeah, like the Tigers in September.
But I'm saying within one season, yeah, I guess so. But the Cubs broke a 100+ year slump.
I'm being sarcastic.
Not when we start selling
Maggie's
these T-shirts.
not taking it sarcastically.
When I'm on my private jet to Macau, you guys are going to wish you got in on the slump buster stuff. I don't know which way we're going, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Eventually.
And we'll bust a slump when we're there.
There we go. Okay, coming up next, we have a philosophical fan question for you. Well, Perloff does. Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Maggie Perloff Show. All right, Pearl, if I only gave you one game that you could watch this weekend, both of your teams lost badly yesterday. Philly season is over, lost to the Dodgers. Eagles lost to the Giants, kind of shocking upset. We've got so much good college football and interesting NFL. If I could give you one game, what is it?
So it's very tempting because I desperately, this is hard because I want to see if ShedeurSanders gets in for Cleveland, but I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs-Lions by far.
Chiefs-Lions would be a good one. I actually think the game I want to see the most is probably Oklahoma-Texas.
It's going to be bad for Arch.
Yeah, but what about John Mateer? We were just talking about it with Nick Kostos, who joined us at the top of the hour, as he does on every Friday, to give us some betting advice. John Mateer would have had surgery on his throwing hand 17 days ago. I'm curious about that. Yeah. I think it's a terrible idea, quite frankly. I want to be on record about that. Mm-hmm. I think it's a bad idea. I think that I don't know if you'd be able to beat Texas with a backup quarterback. You might be able to hang with your defense. And I think the committee would be understanding if you lost to Texas with a backup quarterback. So I don't think it would hurt them as far as the college football playoff is concerned. And I'm curious about whether Mateer could pull this off if he wins, or if maybe Arch gets a little bit of a boost off of this game if they win.
John Mateer could run for 200 yards, throw for 500, and all anyone's going to be talking about is how Arch did. And you know that's the case. And Arch isn't going to do good because they can't run the ball at all. And Oklahoma is going to stuff them. He's going to be in 3rd and 8, get no protection again and again and again. It's going to be a disaster. Everyone's going to blame Arch, and it's not going to be Arch's fault. And I'm going to be just as frustrated with this Texas team as all. I don't even need to watch. I know exactly how it's going to go down. And also, all those like draftable defensive players will not show up. I'm very down on my Longhorns. And I don't blame Sark. I don't blame Arch. I blame the roster construction. So I blame the GM.
Yeah, who's like
I don't even know who
not
the
a famous person.
Yeah. I mean, like GM is a new role in college football. You normally.
Yeah, I think that means it's Sark. Like I think Sark has to shoulder some blame here because if he miscalculated that his offensive line was going to be able to take this big step forward, well, he doesn't have him coached up then.
Well, no. I mean, I do think it's hard to rebuild an offensive line in the transfer portal. He lost an outstanding left tackle, an outstanding right tackle, and an outstanding guard. I think he's like, well, these guys know my system. I'm going to give it a shot. That's the reality. I mean, not everybody is a 2021 Georgia Bulldogs. You lose guys. Look at the running backs they've lost in the last 3 years. They did Bijan Robinson, Jaden Blue. Like, you go on and look at the wide receivers. Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Matthew Golden. Like, who's replacing those guys?
Yeah, but Arch gave them a recruiting bump. Like, first of all, you're Texas. It's a pretty easy sell. And I don't know.
Who are the big recruits?
Well, they have 5 stars. Why were they the preseason #1 team in the country?
Because we're Arch. We screwed up.
Well, I think Sark screwed up because if Arch is your #1 commodity, then there's no way you can leave him exposed in the way they have.
Well, what did Arch say before the season? He said, you guys are hyping me up, but I barely play football. Have fun with that. We have no idea what's going to happen this year. Arch is a young quarterback. He's played 6 games, and his O-line. The amazing thing is their run game has disappeared. Sark's good at coaching up a run game. He's always had a run game, and it's just terrible right now. So I expect, unless Mateer gets hurt, I expect Oklahoma to win this game.
Wow. Arch is coming out.
And like to roll? Like win by 2 scores?
No, I think kind of like the Texas-Florida game, like Texas hangs around. And then it seems like Texas could turn on their offense at certain times. And you said it, Arch makes 3 good throws a game.
Yeah, it just depends when they are. And they also threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter last week against Florida. But, okay, so that would be, to me, if I could only watch one game, I think that would probably be it, although you have elimination games in baseball tonight and tomorrow with the AL tonight and the NL tomorrow. Here's another one. So you're going to you want Browns Steelers because you want to see whether or not Shedeur gets into the game.
Yeah, by the way, if you were stuck watching Oklahoma, Texas, and Shedeur goes out and throws for 200 yards in the second half, and everybody on earth is talking about it, you are going to be sad.
You want to know what's going to happen while you're watching this Browns game, and I'm going to be watching it too, obviously, but while you're dialed into this Browns-Steelers game, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get so annoyed by the Steelers offense.
Oh,
it's
you
so
mean the
annoying.
quick passing thing?
No, it's just the punting on 4th and 1 in the opponent's 40. You know, it's the how stagnant it could look. Listen, they're coming off their bye. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve, but every time I watch a Steeler game beginning to end, I get so annoyed about their offense.
Oh, really? I like this little quick thing they got going to DK Metcalf. I'm a big and listen, it's so funny that Kenneth Gainwell is like their running back now, the guy who's a utility running back for the Eagles. I'm feeling the Steelers. I kind of like them. Mike Tomlin does not. He wants to slow every game down, right?
Sure.
He wants to be conservative. Even with Aaron Rodgers there, that's not going to change. I think there's actually, if it wasn't Dylan Gabriel, if it was Joe Flacco, I'd give Cleveland a good chance here. But I think the Steelers should come out of this. Something you said earlier in the show cracked me up. The Steelers haven't played in a month. Where have they been?
They went to Europe.
Yeah, okay.
And then they had a bye week, so it's been a while. Thank you to Connor Armstrong. Great job today. Thank you to Scarpacci. Great job today. You guys did awesome. Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, of course, Guido's Coffee Drinkers, Nick Kostos. Have a great weekend.
You're in a 5-minute break.